Did you know that most people wait 26 days to see an OBGYN? If you're dealing with a vaginal infection, herpes outbreak, or STI symptoms, you already know that's too long to wait. At HelloWisp.com, you can get a prescription in as little as 3 hours. Contact a doctor online and have the care you need delivered discreetly to your home for free in all 50 states. Or sent to your local pharmacy for pickup same day. Use code HEART, HEART, on your order for 15% off, only at HelloWisp.com. That's HelloWisp.com.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention LOVE20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
Whoops. And away we go. Welcome to Season 18, Episode number 4020. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my God, Montgomery. And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, the Men's Room Shot of the Day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted. Click. Clack. All right, here we go to Issaquah, where a truck spills thousands of eggs all over the road. Meanwhile, in Florida, an arrested woman sings gospel, and the urine flowed. Denver panty thief has neighbors on high alert. 2 brothers crash motorcycles into each other, and both are hurt, to say the least. And some ass in Michigan wins $2 million on a scratch-off. Not that I'm bitter. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, Amal Clooney, that would be wife of George. She is qualified to practice law in not 1, not 2, but 3 different countries. She's practiced at the international courts in The Hague, the International Court of Justice, and the International Criminal Court. She's currently a visiting faculty member and senior fellow of Columbia Law School's Human Rights Institute, and all of that, she's still the mother of 2. And in spite of all of this, she can't cook. That's according to George, who says that he does the cooking for the family because if she cooks, quote, the family will die. That is his quote about his wife's cooking. Now, I guess you can't be good at everything. I mean, no one is. But we tend to notice our significant other's shortcomings more than our own. My wife has no problem pointing out my seemingly endless flaws, but also she admits to her own. Most recently, just last night, she was telling Castle her inability to multitask. And I didn't defend her. I agreed 100%. She's good at a lot of things, but only one thing at a time. 2 things at once will inevitably end in disaster, but we know this, so we attempt to avoid it. But like I said, no one is good at everything, and today we want to call those people out for their trivial failures. It can be cooking, it can be driving, procrastinating, cleaning up after themselves, children, handiwork, remembering things, on and on it goes. We don't know, but you do. And that's why we're asking today's question, which is, past or present, what is your significant other not real good at? And what would they say about you?
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Let's be honest, preventing pregnancy is a pain. Whether you're picking birth control up every month or running to grab Plan B, it costs too much time, money, and effort. All while your partner gets to go about their day uninterrupted. Wisp is changing the game. At hellowisp.com, you can get the reproductive care you need without stepping foot in a doctor's office or waiting in line. Have birth control delivered on your schedule and get emergency contraceptive before you need it. Use code CARE, C-A-R-E, at hellowisp.com for 15% off your first order. That's hello-wisp.com and have it delivered for free.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. If they don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm. Justice for you.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
Debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All the Charles, away we go. Welcome to Season 18, episode number 4020. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. The exciting return of Who Sucks Less, the last Who Sucks Less for 2023. Did you go easy on us today?
It depends entirely on your thoughts about bestiality.
Because you were moaning and groaning over there on the desk, and you're like, ooh, God.
It's just a group of animal lovers.
It is, yes, animal lovers, quite literally. I will say this, Mike, honest to God, these were the 3 least offensive ones. I shared one with Miles, and I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I read a story, there's just one.
Well, you can't tell much of the story.
I had to go to VD. I'm like, hey, man, there's an actual quote from a text that a guy had sent, all right, about what it is that he wanted to accomplish. I'm like, I cannot say this. So we spent 10 minutes trying to figure out a different way to frame what this guy, and we're running through all these different things. I'm like, nope, we can't say that one either. We can't, but you need to be descriptive. So it's ugly. It's bad.
Okay, Who Sucks Less is coming up, the last one of the year. Also on TV Time with Ted, Joe Gatto joining us on the program. He's playing the Moore Theater tomorrow night. So
I love that dude.
And Practical Jokers.
I like his name because it sounds like a martial art.
Joe Gatto.
Practical Jokers.
I know Joe Gatto.
Yeah. And I think all of us in here have watched Jokers.
Sure.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, it's on 24 hours a day.
That's one thing. It's always a Joker's marathon.
It used to be Frasier for a while. Seemed like it was always on.
I feel like Friends.
Cops used to be always on for a number of years.
Cops you could still kind of find on.
Right.
But you're right. True TV really bangs home the Jokers.
I don't even know why they call it True TV. They just call it the Joker Network.
It's always, oftentimes, Comedy Central will do it with South Park for, a week or two.
Sure.
They'll run a bunch of those, but I mean, it just seems like any time you turn
South Park's on all the time on Comedy Central.
Yeah, it's just one of those shows. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, you're going to find an episode, and it's going to be funny.
It's also one of the few shows that you can watch with everybody in your family.
Yeah,
that's true.
Right?
That's
like,
true.
I like it. You know what I mean? Like, I know teenagers that like it. My mom loves it. Like, everybody in here watches it. It's rare that all 4 of us agree on the show.
Also, it is just based on the premise of the show. It is popular around the world. So not only with all ages, but I mean, it's popular everywhere.
Right.
I mean, they are huge. People love the gags no matter what walk of life you come from. These are uncomfortable situations, and they're funny. So, Joe Gatto, as they say in Baltimore, coming up with TV Time with Ted. What else do we have for you today? More Men's Room. You get it every Monday through Friday with the Men's Room Happy Hour exclusively on Odyssey and the Odyssey app. And we'll get into some football picks. We've got games not only Thursday night, but we've got 3, I believe, on Saturday this week. Games all day Sunday, games on Monday. You're going to get 4 days of football over the weekend. So we'll do some picks coming up with the Men's Room Happy Hour. If you don't have the Odyssey app, download it now. It's absolutely free. And then search for the Men's Room. You'll find all things on one page, including the Men's Room Happy Hour channel, as we go live at 6 o'clock. What else on a programming note? I'll need to tell you, tomorrow, by the way, is Coats for Kids Day.
That is correct.
As we're trying to get as many coats on kids in need in Washington State as possible. The goal is 2,500 kids. Every $20 that you donate, that puts a brand new coat on a child in need. Those are American-made coats. So if you can, please head to KISW.com. Get a jump start on tomorrow. It's going to be a busy day. We're going to try to get that number. So 2,500 kids. And keep in mind, 300,000 children in Washington live in poverty. We're going to try to get more coats than 2,500 if we can. But along with our friends from the Washington State Council of Firefighters, Coats for Kids, Operation Warm is going on. And tomorrow we'll get into more of that with Coats for Kids Day. And today we're going to talk about your significant other. Is it a current significant other? It could be. Is it a past person that you went out with in a relationship? It could be too, past or present. So someone maybe you were married to, dated before, whatever. Look, we know you can't be good at everything, obviously. You can be better at certain things than others, but there's no way in hell that you're going to be good at everything.
No, there's no way.
Yeah, maybe there's a couple people out there that are of that nature. I mean, the guy we're talking about on our question, George Clooney, you'd have to think that he is good at a lot of different things.
Do you?
He's good looking. He's talented. He's got his own.
Good at being good looking. He's just good looking.
He's good looking. He's talented.
I guess I should say that he works out.
Yeah,
It
whatever.
does work out. But there's no way he's good at everything. He might be a
there's
slob
something
at the
that he's
house.
not good at.
And if
There
you ask his
absolutely
wife,
is.
I guarantee she'll tell you 3 things in a heartbeat. She wouldn't even think about it.
Yeah. And
cunnilingus. Yeah, I mean.
That's what I heard he's bad at.
That's Michael Douglas's. That's
Well, he's good at it.
Apparently he's good at it.
Yeah.
Real good. Real.
Heard Clooney does not put in enough time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, George.
Well, George says he makes sure he handles the cooking for his family, not his lawyer wife, Amal. He says, quote, she's one of the great advocates of the world. She takes on ISIS, all these things.
Advocates. I said one of the great Africans in the world.
Advocates.
Pretty sure she's not African.
She know Ken and Donnie?
Yeah, she could. But I better be doing the cooking, or we will all die. George says he will be cooking a little Christmas turkey for the holidays this year. He also made one for Thanksgiving, so he is the guy that cooks in the house. Truth be told, I'm not a bad cook. One of the things that I have done in the relationships that I have been in is cook for the majority of the time. I don't mind doing it. I'm pretty efficient at it. I've got some sense of timing when it comes to getting things ready to go. It's not that the significant others that I was with could not cook. They were okay cooks. There were certain dishes that were outstanding, but then that was about the limit of...
It becomes their go-to dish.
Of their cooking abilities.
I mean,
You're a good cook, though.
Not bad. I mean,
I would say you're a good cook.
Yeah, you're
like,
a good
most things you make, you still make one of the most delicious turkeys I've ever had in my life.
I'll tell you what, my wife is a fantastic cook, but I did not know she could cook, right? So about the first 6-7 months that we dated, I cooked for her all the time, or we'd go out and eat. No big deal. I don't mind cooking. I used to cook professionally. No worries. She comes out to Seattle to visit me. We get home from the apartment after the show, because at that point we were on at night. She got home at like 11:30, and she said, "Hey, man, there's leftovers in the fridge." And I'm kind of excited because I'm wondering where she went. And I look at the leftovers, and they're wrapped in foil, look kind of homemade, you know? So I'm like, "Where'd you go?" She's like, "Oh, I cooked this." I said, "You can cook?" She's like, "Yeah, I can cook my ass off." I'm like, "Why did you never tell me?" She said, "Honestly, because you kept cooking for me."
Yeah.
She was like, "I wasn't going to say
That's fair.
a word." And I'm like, "Well played." So now we split cooking probably about 50-50.
Right.
Just whoever's in the mood to do it is the one that'll do it.
And sometimes it's just basic things. Like for an example, one of my buddies I grew up with is just one of those guys that is naturally built. He's got a square jaw on him. Right. He's a very handsome guy. He's very athletic and all that. He is the dumbest person I know in my life. And I'm not talking about the fact that he is not capable of passing a test from an academic standpoint. He can read a book, he can pick up the knowledge, he can apply it to paper. I'm talking about common sense.
Okay. Yeah.
So his common sense it's not there. Whether it's just saying stupid things or basically the more he talks, the more you cannot believe the things that are coming out of his mouth. Generally speaking, that he just does not have a clue about. and I mean, it's insane. I mean, I can't even give you a perfect example where you wouldn't think you could say like, yeah, man, Dwayne The Rock Johnson's in that movie. Who? The Rock, wrestling, The Rock, the actor. Nah, I don't know who he is, man.
Really? He's just one of those guys.
I'm making an example for now. I haven't seen the guy in years, but what I mean is those with Tom Brady. I don't know who that is.
Don't you watch football?
I don't watch football really. Who does he play for? Like it's one of those things where you just can't believe
what he doesn't know,
what he does not know, and it's even if it's just
what's he do?
What does he do now? He does freight, like what the hell is it? It's loss management. So basically,
you told me about this guy, right? Like checking inventory essentially.
Right, exactly.
On the freight.
He's like, I can't remember the name of it. It was not safety. It's like loss prevention or whatever the deal is. Or basically, if there's a truck and it's got stuff on it, and it happens to be like losing your luggage at the airport. This is the equivalent of that, but in the world of 18-wheelers,
right?
Or if someone's stealing things from docks, or
is he the guy that gets like the occasional freebie if something goes like I don't know, like
they do. It's
uncollected.
It's their Christmas party.
Really?
So it's a raffle. If you for an example, 43-inch television, unaccounted for, but it's been there for a year. So after it has not been claimed for X amount of time, then they kind of do a raffle at the Christmas party for the people who want certain stuff. So you're allowed to have like 5 tickets, whatever, and say
that's cool.
There's 20 things. Cool. You just put your tickets in there, and hopefully you get something. Yeah, he's that guy. So I'm sure he's very good at his job because he's the head of what he does. But I mean, you want to talk about dumb,
right?
He is just the dumbest person I have ever met in my life, and I'm sure he's good at something. I just don't.
You just don't know what it is.
I just don't know what that is. Yeah, I mean, he's good at his job, obviously. So, but you can't be good at everything.
Hey, he's that good looking. He's probably good at sex.
Oh,
I'm
sure.
have to be.
I'm sure.
I mean, I'm just assuming he's probably had women all over him his whole life.
I know he slept with a couple of my girlfriends back in the day.
Oh, nice.
I could probably, if I could reach out and find him, I'd call him. Hey, man, by the way, how was Pat?
Right.
Oh, my God, he was amazing. Yeah. So our question today, whether it be past or present, what is your significant other not real good at, and what would they say about you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Juan. Welcome to the men's room.
What's up, fellas? How you doing? Hold on. Hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, thank you for, my wife looks forward to that every year for you guys to wish her a happy birthday.
Oh, yeah, no problem, man. Of course.
You know who, right? Angelica Machita Santa Cruz Tapia.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I'm wearing her socks.
Yeah,
today.
we know that's your wife.
Yes, we pieced that together, believe me.
So, Juan, now that you wished her a happy birthday, what would you say that she's not very good at?
When we first got together, she wasn't good at making flautas, roll tacos.
Oh, flautas.
Chicken roll tacos.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you're getting on her case about. She couldn't roll a good flauta.
Yeah, that's what we call it, flauta.
Now, is that corn?
No, yeah, corn tortillas. Yeah, they have to be corn.
Okay. All right. Because that's the traditional, I guess, tortilla.
I believe it means flute, right? Flauta.
So did you teach her, or did she still suck at it?
No, she now, dude, perfect wife. She cook whatever. The only thing she really can't do is like the soups, pozole, menudo, caldos. Yeah,
divorce her.
I make that.
Well, see, soup is not. I don't think soup is that difficult.
I don't either.
I think that's one of the easiest things not to mess up, as long as you don't put too much salt in it.
Right. I've just never made soups.
It's the spices.
I just never make it, but I know friends that do it. Like I have a buddy that makes pho all the time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I've done it a few times. Like, if I get a hair on my ass, I'll just make a soup. Like, if it's cold outside and I want to be warm, like, I'm going to the kitchen, I'm going to make a soup.
Can she make...
I feel like I make chili in my crock pot, but I don't know. Never really. Maybe over Christmas, I'll soup it up.
There you go, man. Soup it up.
How about mole? Can she make mole one?
No, she doesn't like it, but I can make that. I know how to make that.
Okay. Now, what would she say about you as far as if we asked her what you're not very good at, what would she tell you? What would she tell us?
Probably sex. No.
Well, I know you like the pornography every once in a while.
Yeah,
because I've seen your likes on Twitter. They pop up. They used to pop up in my feed. I was like, Juan, what are you looking at?
And why do you make so many comments, man? We don't need to know what it is you want to do with her.
Yeah.
Although a lot of times I agree with what you're saying, but I'm just saying. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. No, I'm probably just that I don't know how to clean up after myself.
Okay. Obviously, you've had this conversation before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Too many times.
Well, some people just...
Guys, and before we leave, Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year.
Yeah,
have
you
a
too,
fun
Juan.
on your vacation.
Hey, thank you, man. We appreciate it. People who are messy are just messy in general, but there's an organizational method to their mess, I feel like. Because
Sometimes.
I used to get in trouble for picking up after people. And that drove me nuts because I don't like when when there's shoes on the steps.
Right.
Just basic things that just...
Don't put them there. That is a bad place for them.
And don't stack your stuff on the steps of all places because you're not picking them up in the middle of the night when someone needs to get up and get a glass of water and walk down the steps. Like, you have, like, crap on one whole side of the steps. Yeah. And to me, it's just dangerous. It's just for general safety. I don't want to twist my ankle and fall down the steps because... You're going to walk up and down you pass the steps.
Like, just move it
6
somewhere.
times, just one time, pick up one little pile, then take that to where you're going up to the top of the steps, and then before you know it, it'll all be where you want it to be. But that crap.
I mean, look, I'm a messy person. Like, I keep my living room, my kitchen stuff, but like my bedroom can get messy. But if I'm dating a girl, like I don't know what she's like, do you mind if I clean up? Like, I don't care at all.
Yeah.
Go crazy in there.
Sure.
Have fun, man.
Yeah.
Have fun. Yeah. I mean, my daughter's super messy. She just is. It's got to the point where, like, just close your bedroom door. Right? Because if you ask her to clean up, somehow it's worse. Like, she's putting in the effort to clean up, but somehow it looks worse than when you initially requested that she clean up. I don't understand it. I can't piece it together, but it's like, you know what? Just close your door and live in your world. My son is pretty good about cleaning up if you remind him.
Yeah.
Right? It's not something that's ever at the top of his mind. But say, hey, man, can you clean this mess up? He does an excellent job. You just have to remind him.
And there's a lot of people that just they're distracted to the point of not being able to be productive.
Yeah.
So if you are moving and you need to box stuff up, when you're going through all these things that you don't realize you have and you're throwing stuff away or whatever, then the next thing I know, I'll look over and like, you're going through all the photo albums.
And now you're looking at the picture.
But you're going through all individually. Right. Oh, remember this? Oh, look at that.
Can we remember it later?
Right. We are going to unpack this stuff too.
Right.
It's Saturday. Like, we need to be in there by the end of the weekend.
Right.
Can you please just focus? Let's put this stuff in boxes, put them in the general location where we think that they are going to go together.
Yeah.
And we'll look at it all when we unpack. And also, do you really need that, and that? Because we're going to throw it, well, I don't know if I'll ever need that. You're not going to use it. It's not something that you're ever going to use.
Because you haven't.
Ever. I've carried around this sewing machine now on, across the United States for 4 or 5 different moves. I've never seen you sew anything.
Ever.
Why do we have this? Well, it was my grandmother's. Give it to your grandmother would want someone to use that thing.
Probably.
I would give it to someone who would use it. Our question, past or present, what is your significant other not real good at, and what would they say about you? 206-803-ROCK.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. On We Can Do Hard Things, my wife Abby, my sister Amanda, and I talk honestly about the hard parts of life. Join us and guests like Michelle Obama, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Brene Brown as we have refreshingly honest conversations. New episodes are out every Tuesday and Thursday, so listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things, an Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle
9.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Our question, past or present, what is your significant other not real good at, and what would they say about you? 206-803-ROCK. Couple things that people admit themselves that they are not very good at.
All right.
Directions. Thank goodness for the GPS on my phone, or else I would never be able to get anywhere. I think it skips generations of my family because my mom could find her way through a new city easy peasy. My grandma, on the other hand, she'll get lost in her own hallway. She once went up a hill to visit a friend's house, and when she was trying to leave, she went further up the hill.
That's my wife.
Really?
Does not know directions at all. Self-admittedly that she is just terrible with directions.
I'm pretty good at having a general idea of where I'm at.
You're one of the better people I've seen at it.
I'm looking around and going like, yeah, the orienteering in my brain somehow works.
Right.
I don't know how that happened, but
you can just kind of tell where the directions are at. But we've been in our new place for a few weeks now, and she still gets lost walking the dog. She will still have to pull out her phone and look at directions on
the dog.
Oh yeah, she will get
man.
lost in this neighborhood.
I
now,
mean,
granted, it's more of a grid, but at the same point, at some time I do look at her like, you've got to have it a little bit better than this.
Right. Come on, man. You're walking your dog. You should not be able to find your home because you took the dog for a walk.
Well, and in your neighborhood, like, the houses at least look a little different.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
You ever been, like, my buddy lives down in Scottsdale, and the first time I went down there, I went to get a coffee on my beach cruiser. I could not find his house.
Because they all look the same, though?
They look exactly the same.
That's different.
Every street is like either flat or the same curve, and you're just like, holy S.
The only thing helping her out right now is the fact that it is the Christmas season and then there are Christmas lights. That's how she tells where she's at. The place with the minion. Okay, so we have to go this way from there. Like, okay, you've got it, but now just find different things.
Mike? You need to get like a giant inflatable Santa or snowman.
I do.
You know what I mean? Just say like, babe, listen, because I want to see you again after you take the dog out, but look
just use it as a beacon on the top of her house.
Look for the snowman.
I mean, I can drive almost anywhere in Oregon, anywhere in Washington. I cannot remember the names of the roads. I know where I'm going.
Right.
I just don't know what it's called. I don't know that you could say like, hey, it's on Mercer, dude. And I'm like, I've lived here 20 years. I'm like, Mercer. Where's Mercer? Where the hell is Mercer? I'm trying to think. I just, for whatever reason, and I'm like, oh, it's there. And if you just give me something that's close to it, then I have a pretty good idea. For some reason, names do not stick with me very well in general. So if you said, like, have you been to this bar? I maybe.
I asked Ted, have I been to this bar? Because I feel like Ted knows more than I do as far as where I've been. Certainly
we've been together.
But if I get on Yelp and I look at pictures inside a bar, I'm like, oh, yeah, I've been there, man. It's a great place. I can tell you what, it's good to eat there. But I just can't remember the name of it.
But street names aren't really important if you know where you're going, right? Because the same thing, if I went home, I could not tell you exactly what streets I'm going to be on, but I'm going to beeline directly home. The problem is when someone asks for directions to your place, right? So what main road am I looking for? And you're like, dude, you know what? Honest to God, I don't know. And they're like, how have you lived there and you don't know? I'm like, because I know where the road is. I know it takes me home.
Yours is a little unique.
It's odd, yeah.
Well, no, my house specifically is kind of hard to find. In spite of that fact that you're on a major road, but it's just the way they locate it. I get that.
And the construction hasn't helped.
Jesus Christ, man. Listen. Jeff, can we please finish the light rail, man? Honest to God, guys.
Extended it again.
I mean, like it's kind of done, but we're waiting like another year for them to finish all the way up to Linwood.
Correct.
Which is crazy to me because I'm like, well, we're between Northgate and Linwood. In theory, you could run it up to whatever.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. Please be done.
A lot of times I went up down to Tacoma playing golf for the weekend, and I know, okay, where the Red Hot is.
Yeah.
Where Asado is.
Alpha 6th, yeah.
Okay. I know
that was something that my old man impressed on was like no street names.
I know how to get there.
Yeah.
I know where to go play pinball. I know, the place.
But could you explain to someone else?
I can't tell you until you said 6th. I don't know the name of the street.
6th is the party street down there.
It's a great place. I enjoyed very much. I'm just telling you.
You just didn't know that it was on 6th.
He said, man, you should go down to 6 when you're in Tacoma. I'm like, 6. Yeah, I should probably check that out. Like, this. Oh, yeah, I'm down there all the time.
That was one thing that as I was growing up, my old man really drilled into me. It was like, if you start realizing where places are at, learn the city streets, because that is something that is unmistakable. That is something that's really not going to change unless to be honest with you, I haven't seen a city street change in my lifetime.
They generally don't.
Right. So
until somebody important dies,
it keeps you from giving directions saying, so go on down there, and then when you get the big tree on the left, that's when you're going to take a right.
Do you know the people that give the horrible directions?
Scottish.
So you ask for directions, and the problem is
honest.
They tell you the things that aren't important, right? So
yeah.
All right, man, when you get on the road, all right, you're going to see a 7-Eleven. Like, yeah, ignore that. Like, then why did you bring this up?
When we went to Scotland, they were the worst at giving directions. It's, we're trying to get to such and such a place. How do we get there? Oh, yeah, what you're going to want to do is you're going to go down the street right here. You're going to run into the second traffic circle. Go right through that one and just keep on going down there. And you're going to take a right and then a left, and it's going to be right there on the back.
So like,
say what?
Well, there's probably no street signs, too.
They are, but they're not like in the normal area. They don't have. Here we have them on poles. We have them up there with the lights. Over in Scotland, they are on the sides of buildings.
Well, they probably
there was some of that in those villages in Germany and England too, and it is kind of weird. You're just like, and there's not like we were in a small village, so there's not street lights.
No,
none. Yeah. And the worst, I will say this about our time in Germany is they have a really good subway system. Man, it's not like when we went to London. You can take the tube. But everything's in English. It's real easy for you to understand. It probably ends with Shire or Hill, right?
Yeah.
You go to Germany, there's no real connection in the names, and they're all 17 letters long.
I was going to say, the names of the towns are like
oh
a
my
sentence.
God. Do you
remember where we stayed?
Wolfratshausen.
Which was the last stop on the rail in our direction.
Yeah, we were down in Bavaria. I mean, we could see the Alps, Swiss Alps.
Yeah, we really could.
Thank God that American couple was there. Mike, that was the only time I was a little thrown off. We were late leaving Wolfratshausen, so there's not a lot of Americans on the train. We're obviously going to that stadium, but like we had to transfer once or twice.
I think once.
But it's like now at this point, there's not signs that just say Allegiant Stadium or whatever it's called out. Right? And this guy, did you just hear this couple? The guy's like, "You going to the soccer stadium?" Like, yes. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm American. You're on the right. You're heading. Get on this track." And then it's like, "What are you guys going to the game too?" Like, "No, we live here. We're missionaries or something." I was just like, "Thank you for speaking out."
So isn't that obvious?
Past or present, what is your significant other not real good at, and what would they say about you? 206-803-ROCK.
Couple of quick text here says, for all the reasons our marriage did not work, my ex-wife was still a really awesome person. The thing that made no sense was how she was totally non-dependable at home, but was always like employee of the month at work. And as far as what she'd say about me, probably that I over-explain things. It's something I've always tried to be better at, but I kind of fail all the time. Okay, that's fair. As long as you know, man.
You could have stopped that. You over-explain things. You have to put in 3 more comments, dude. You get it.
Somebody here says she absolutely sucks at talking to people. If we go out anywhere, she hides behind me if there's more than 5 people in the room, and she doesn't know anyone.
That's me.
Really?
I'm terrible at talking to people. I've told a lot of people this, that no matter if I don't know who you are and I don't know what you're interested in and what I can talk to you about, I lock up. I never know exactly what to say to people, and so I have some of the most awkward encounters with people. And my wife hates it because she gets secondhand embarrassment, but she also laughs her ass off at me.
What about like if we go to the bar? Right, we go to the bar.
I'm not good at it.
Really?
No.
We're sitting at the bar. It's full of people.
You notice when we go out there, I don't say anything. I let you guys do the talking.
You got to warm Mike up a little bit.
I get it. Like you said, you need to know what they're interested in. But
I know.
Miles, to me, is the best. So Miles will walk into a bar. You don't know anyone.
I go with Ted on that one.
Yeah. You like the Yankees? Kiss my ass, you dumb whore. I mean, that's Miles' opening statement.
Didn't that damn near get you guys in trouble at a bar one time?
Oh, your Steelers comment. I was not.
No. Didn't get us in trouble.
The Steelers comment is what got them to finally talk to us.
That's right.
Because it was, you could hear a pin drop. Again, they obviously hadn't seen 2 white dudes walk into this bar in a long time.
Without badges.
No. Right. So when Miles said it, right. When Miles said
this
it,
guy's
Mike,
got a Steelers jacket on or something.
he had a hat on. And Miles just goes, like, what the F is that? And the guy's like, he's like, your Steelers hat. My heart has dropped. Because I'm like, this ain't going to be good. And then the guy's like, no, actually, man, I'm from Pittsburgh or something. And then somebody, because we're in Baltimore, so then other people start chirping them. No, that was, thank God.
They were all
Miles
doing
said
shots
something.
by the end of the...
Oh, yeah, they loved us by the time we left. But when we walked, and it's Mike, right? Again, I know I've told the story, but they're going on vacation. I'm still, but like Miles needs to drop his car off. And he's like, will you follow me down to this part of Baltimore so you could drive me back up to where he's going to meet Thrill at this bar? I said, sure. So we drop his car off and we go in there just to buy beer to take for later. And Miles goes, where is the nearest bar around here? And that guy did not tell us. He just went, well, there's one in the back. Miles didn't miss a beat, but I mean, I've been in a lot of places, but that was one time where I was like, whoa, they are not expecting us to stroll back.
We might
here.
die. Next thing you know, we're all cheering, we're all toasting each other.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't bad. They just seemed shocked. It's like I told you in Columbia when my dad lived down there.
South Carolina, right?
Yeah, Columbia, South Carolina. Right, not Columbia, the country. He just moved down there. He didn't know any neighborhoods, and he kind of stuck out in his neighborhood. And me and my brother, we didn't know any different. So one day we're walking around, and finally, the fifth person just stares at us like, what in the hell? I was like, I don't think there's white people that live in this neighborhood. It was like, it wasn't dangerous.
Just like back home.
Yeah, right.
Okay, that right there, that is a Scottish stop sign or street sign.
Oh, where is it?
Right here. Exactly. Where the hell is
in the
it?
middle.
And they are
there.
That is the most, honestly, obvious street sign that I have ever seen out there in Scotland. Because they literally do strap them to the sides of buildings.
But those roads have been there for hundreds of years.
Really
I'm just assuming.
Well, so have the people. They can update the doggone street signs.
Even Seattle. I have this book on old Seattle and Fremont and all this stuff. Westlake is still Westlake. Right. There used to be a trolley that ran across the Fremont Bridge. Mm-hmm. It had a trolley system on it.
All right.
The trolley was the 40. That is the same bus that runs through there now. Mm-hmm. Very rarely do things change that much.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're going to name something Edward Martinez Boulevard or something like that. Typically stuff stays the same.
I mean, you're right, but also Mike's right, too. People aren't on horseback anymore. Let's update the signs.
Just put them in a plate.
We're not wearing powdered wigs anymore, man. Come on.
The problem with the Scottish
This
street
is why
sign
the British will always dominate you.
You don't know that you're on that street until you're already on the street.
Yes.
Right, so if that's not the street you're supposed to be on, by the time you figure it out, you're already on the street.
So
that's kind of dumb.
And why are the lanes squiggly?
They really are, dude. They're so small too. Yeah. They are so small. You're going to get into a doggone accident out there. But that's a place where it makes sense. It doesn't matter if you know the street signs. You're not going to find it. Right. You don't know where Wilfredshire Street is.
Right.
It's the left at Terry's. Right.
Well, if you see a big man sitting outside drinking a bit of wine, make a left there.
Yeah. Past or present, what is your significant other not real good at, and what would they say about you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Nate. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, you guys.
Hola.
So, my wife is a beautiful woman. She's plus size model, formerly had 3 kids of her own, but she's not very touchy feely, huggy kissy.
You said she's not very, so she's not particularly intimate.
Right, correct.
I've dated that person as well.
I understand it with you, Miles.
Have it like I have it, because I'm a grab you when I get home and first see you, give you smothering kisses, and then you're like, okay, peel me off of you and make me go do chores. You know, that's the kind of guy I am.
Now, does
I
that,
don't get that from her?
Does that annoy her, or does she just expect it from you and it's fine?
No, like when I that way, I get the 5th degree, the side eye.
All right. Typically, that's a reflection of her parents. I mean, not throwing the parents under the bus, but how she was brought up, and maybe that just wasn't something that she's accustomed to.
Well, she had some pretty abusive relationships, and I'm a nice guy. Picked up all the pieces. We have a great life together. I love her to death, but
yeah, some people are just...
Your phone doesn't like you either, dude.
Some people are just built for flight. In other words, they've been in so many situations that are just haven't been pleasant before that the best way that they can do something is not to get too attached to somebody so that they don't get their feelings hurt anymore.
A lot of people are that way. But that's why I hug my kid all the time. Like I said, good morning, good night, hello, goodbye. You're getting a hug. That's what's going to happen. And just like you were saying, Miles, I'm hoping that's something that translates with them as they move forward.
Right. Well, here's the weird thing. My stepfather was Italian, so all of his friends are Italian. Italians hang out together. It's just the way it is in West
I mean, that's a touchy culture.
Touchy, kissy. But he would never give you a hug. He would never give you a kiss. He would never bring you in or anything. But he would hug and kiss every one of his adult friends and relatives. So any other man in his life, that was very acceptable to go up and hug someone, kiss him on the cheek, all that stuff.
He wouldn't give you a hug?
Children off limits. Any kid.
What about his kids?
No. I mean,
not even his blood kids?
No.
I'm not saying that to be mean.
No. I mean, it wasn't.
You just don't hug your kids?
That's not how he was brought up. His mom did. His mom raised 3 kids on her own, and his dad was always out of town doing something. So she basically raised them with an iron fist.
Sure.
So there was not a lot of love. It was hard love.
Yeah, tough love.
Tough love. It wasn't exactly touchy-feely love. So he never grew up in that kind of environment. Now, his dad, he would come up and give all the kids hugs.
Sure.
So he was just a different kind of guy. He was built differently as far as that goes. But yeah, you're either wired that way or you're not. I mean, I couldn't stop hugging my kids when they were little.
I mean, I think sometimes, that's a little different. I would say in personal relationships, to me, it's almost like a timeline at some point.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You gotta go on a few dates to kind of get to that point.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then it's touchy-feely, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm just not today. It's too hot.
Yeah, well, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, I'm generally pretty affectionate.
I guess I am. I don't know. Definitely toward the kids, right? Without question. The wife, I always get the peck on the cheek or the lips when I get home or when I'm getting out of the car, all that kind of thing. But after that, man, it's you're side by side, but my feet are up on the coffee table and she's on the chaise.
Right.
Just chilling. But you're not necessarily on each other all the time.
And
although her feet do find a way to end up in my lap very often.
I can read the room when someone doesn't want me near them as far as they're mad at me or whatever the deal is. I mean, I'm not.
Which for you probably just means you're home.
Yeah, most of the time. Because typically I forget stuff all the time. I probably smoked way too much weed. But just like the street signs and everything else, if you tell me a date, I need to write it down. And if I don't write it down, I will not remember. I'm not good at organizing a system in my phone to alert me.
But you remember stuff you want to remember.
I do, for sure. But the things that I don't want to do, I told you we were going out with this couple that I work with on, a week ago on next Thursday night. I'm like, I've got a work thing. Or there's always, right. I told you last week, and I'm like, I just didn't remember. I mean,
my problem is I'm told things months in advance. So, if there is a Christmas party that we have to go to, my wife will tell me, and I believe her, I told you this in March. And I'm like, that's the problem. You told me this 9 months ago, man. There is no chance. One thing I try to avoid, because she is super organized, where I'm just kind of just fly by the seat of my pants. It's just life. What could possibly go wrong, right? So she's super organized, but she has one of those desk calendars in our home, and I refuse to look at it because when I even glance at it, every single day of the month and any given month has stuff written on it.
And that drives you nuts.
I don't want to look to see what it is. It's just, and honest to God, I refuse to look at this calendar. I just get up in the morning and basically just ask her, like, what is happening today? And she'll fill me in. It's just much easier for me. And the other thing is, I don't like to know a ton of stuff in advance because it just stresses you out.
Yes.
Oh, we got to do this. We got to go here. I would rather just get up in the morning. Hey, after work today, we got blank. Cool.
I have long since given up trying to remember any big event that I've got on. And I mean any event that I've got going on, because my wife has likely planned something. She has got it all worked out. And then I will, much like Ted, a date will be mentioned, and I'll say, "Wait a minute, that one sounds familiar."
Sounds familiar.
What do we do? What's going on the 11th? That's your niece's party. Like, oh, that's right. I got to do. And like, I'm not even trying to remember at this point, and it's nothing against anybody. I just know I'm going to miss something. I'm going to forget something. It's better if I just shut up and go where I'm told to be.
I'm very much.
You're right. I can remember
way.
dates for some. Like if somebody I'll have it in my head. I don't remember what the event is, but even like right now, right? If you ask me about the second weekend in June, I'm like, I'm booked.
Right.
You know,
you're
like,
pretty good with that.
Okay,
stuff.
I can just be like, something's going on or whatever.
I honestly don't know, and I'm not even kidding. If we get like an important work email, like remember this date, I forward it to her. Like, seriously, I don't even bother to read the email. No offense, Corbett. I don't read it. It says, this is important. Remember this date. It gets forwarded to my wife, and then she organizes basically,
That's good.
This, seriously.
Because she's good at it.
She's
that's
very,
one good thing
very
about a
good
relationship.
at it.
Let the people who are good at what they do that
let
part.
them do
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah, I mean, without question. I was looking at the calendar yesterday. I'm like, all right, we got Fishbone. And
great show, by the way.
Yeah, it was great. And I'm looking. I'm like, oh, it's the 12th. I need to call my daughter. It's her birthday.
Right.
She's in Africa. So this is not going to work out on the timeline.
How many hours ahead is she?
I don't remember.
And what's weird, Miles, is that if somebody was to ask you, what is your daughter's birthday, you'd get it instantly.
Oh, in a minute.
You know exactly what it is.
I had to look at the calendar to go, oh, today is the 12th. Because I'm not paying attention to the day.
Exactly.
I know it's Tuesday.
We have a combined calendar app that if I don't put stuff on, the number of times that I have gotten into trouble because I didn't put it on the calendar,
right?
It's just, that's how we organize our time. Like, if I needed to know what I'm doing whatever weekend, I could look it up in that calendar. And this thing has been a Bible to me ever since.
The worst thing for me is a Monday morning anything. So once the weekend, Sunday night, I'm like, I know I got to go to work tomorrow. But if it's a dental appointment in the morning, doctor appointment in the morning, I have to be someplace. And Monday morning, 50% of the time, I am not going to post.
I'm bad at being predictive about that because every time I go to the dentist, hey, we'll see you in 6 months. You go, cool. And then they start going through a couple of dates, right?
So even it's a long way away.
And the problem is I never account for future Steve. So I'm like, oh, you want at 8 a.m.? Yeah, you know what, man? That's fine. Well, then the day comes 6 months later, and my wife's like, hey, tomorrow, you know, the dentist, it's at 8 o'clock. And I'm like, why did I agree to that?
Day that we got back from Baltimore for the Ravens and the Seahawks game, I had a dental appointment at 8 o'clock the following morning. Like, it was like, I think we took Monday off, so Tuesday morning, whatever the deal was, man. It was a miracle. It was a freaking miracle that I showed up at that thing. I mean, I was jet lagged, probably hungover.
Right.
You know, I'm sitting there with my mouth open, hoping I don't throw up on this person. Just like, oh my God. But I made it.
Right, you made it.
Yeah. Past or present, what is your significant other not real good at? And what would they say about you? 206-803-ROCK.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. If they don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm. Justice for you.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. On We Can Do Hard Things, my wife Abby, my sister Amanda, and I talk honestly about the hard parts of life. Join us and guests like Michelle Obama, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Brene Brown as we have refreshingly honest conversations. New episodes are out every Tuesday and Thursday, so listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things, an Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app and everywhere you get your podcasts.
At the UPS Store, we have everything to help small business owners be unstoppable. So if you need mailbox services, we'll be the mailbox store.
What if my business isn't brick and mortar?
Easy. With our mailbox services, you'll get a real street address instead of a P.O. box.
What if I give you a big bear hug for making my day?
Then get in here, buddy.
The UPS Store can help small business owners be unstoppable with our mailbox services. We'll hold your mail and packages in a safe location. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. The UPS Store locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
Let's be honest. Preventing pregnancy is a pain. Whether you're picking birth control up every month or running to grab Plan B, it costs too much time, money, and effort. All while your partner gets to go about their day uninterrupted. WISP is changing the game. At hellowisp.com, you can get the reproductive care you need without stepping foot in a doctor's office or waiting in line. Have birth control delivered on your schedule and get emergency contraceptive before you need it. Use code CARE, C-A-R-E, at hellowisp.com for 15% off your first order. That's hello-wisp.com and have it delivered for free.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
99.9 KISW. We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
KISW, along with our friends at the Washington State Council Firefighters, teaming up for Operation Warm and Coats for Kids.
Coats for Kids.
Now, tomorrow is Coats for Kids Days, but if you can, head to KISW.com and give what you can now. $20 puts a brand new coat on a child in need during the winter here in Washington State. As 300,000 children live in poverty, we're going to try to get 2,500 brand new coats. If we can go higher than that, that would be great. But give what you can now, KISW.com, and tomorrow we'll make the final push on Coats for Kids Day. All right, question, past or present, what is your significant other not real good at? And what would they say the same about you? 206-803-ROCK.
Couple of text there says, hola, gentlemen. My wife is horrible at dealing with bugs, especially spiders. I mean, hell, she couldn't leave the toilet because there was a spider blocking the exit. She's still like that. She would say that I am horrible at doing simple tasks around the house without being asked. And I would totally agree.
I don't mind bugs as much as long as they're not dangerous. Wasps, bees, hornets, yes, I understand those, but for the most part, a big spider, sure, but
I'm not a fan of spiders, but not only will I kill it, I look forward to doing it. Like you cannot be in this home with me, man.
I've reached, I'm going to take you outside stage of my life.
Really?
Yep.
Not me.
Spiders, bugs, you name it, I just take them and throw them out.
I will take them outside eventually when I put my shoes back on and walk out there. Yeah. Their carcass will be reunited with the earth, but man, like you're meeting a shoe real quick.
I flush spiders.
Do you flush them?
Kill them, flush them. Yeah. Again, outside, fine. I might move you off of the bushes in front of my place or the railing.
Yeah.
But you're inside my home, you're an intruder.
That's the thing. You cannot be in my home if you're a spider. Like most bugs don't bother me, but spiders, like, bro, you got to stay outside. That's the only deal.
Miles, this is going to be like that damn mushroom. You looked at it, shouldn't have eaten it, right. Still ate it, passed out on your toilet.
Yes, I did.
You're going to be walking one of these spiders outside one day instead of taking action, killing it. It's going to bite you and get sick.
Nope.
Or become Spider-Man.
You're probably right.
Somebody here says,
Spider-Man, I'll give you $100.
My wife has no sense of style or fashion, but that keeps her from being a high-maintenance bitch. Okay.
I don't have a lot of style or fashion.
And then this one, I can relate to this one. I can never do a surprise because my wife always has plans or is always planning. And my wife is the exact same way. And like I said, just looking at her calendar, there's not a day I could do a surprise. I pulled one surprise on her, but I had to enlist her friends for help. Like, you need to call my wife and lie to her about whatever. Right? That way I can do this other thing and we surprise her, you see. But I can't.
Was she actually surprised?
She was surprised, but my wife is one of those people that says, I don't like surprises. I'm like, do you know how insanely stupid that is? You don't know if you like surprises because it could be good. Mm-hmm. Like, would you be surprised if I won the lottery? Yes. would you not like that I have $1 million? I think you would like that.
Right.
Not all surprises are bad.
Time is another weird issue as far as people in their relationships go. For an example, I told Steve this earlier. A relationship I was in, basically, Saturday morning, 9, 10 o'clock, hey, I need to get a couple of things for the grocery store because I have an idea what I'm going to make for dinner, and I'll pick up some stuff for the week and all that stuff. Well, there's some things that I need, too. Okay, well, just write them down, man, and I'll pick up whatever you need, no problem. Well, a lot of these things are things that I kind of want to pick out on my own as far as my fruits and vegetables. But all right, well, fine. Let's go up there together, and you get your stuff, and I'll go through this list, and we're good to go. Well, when do you want to go? I was going to go right now.
That's why I said that.
Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm going to the grocery store. Oh, well, can we go in a little while? Sure. And then you just sit there.
Right.
You just on your phone. You're not doing anything. There's not a show on. It's not. You didn't change clothes. You already brushed your teeth. Like you're going out the same way that you look right now. Why are we just? What do I do now?
Right.
Why do I could start laundry, but you have clothes in the washing machine.
I would just go to the grocery store. I mean, like whenever you want to go to grab your stuff, you can. But like that was my plan.
And I'm a pretty efficient driver, but I found myself racing to a.
Why do you say it every time?
Racing.
Everybody rolls right. Did one of your kids say once, I'm going to puke when I drive with you?
Oh my God! His
dad did.
If you get in the car with me, it's probably a one-time thing. From what I've understood with most of my friends, as far as like, I'm not getting in the car with them. My kids were terrified. My wives were terrified. I mean, I get us there on time, but I'm racing against the clock because we did not get out the door. Like I'm the guy that's in the car. The car is running. I'm in front of the house, and I'm still sitting out there for 5 to 10 minutes.
Right.
And it's never like, I had to take a dump, or there's no real rhyme for it. It's just. It's like do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do, I'm like, why is time not important? And I don't know why I consider it important. It's not, why do I need, okay, if it's a movie, if it's a sporting event, if it's something that requires you to be on time, like, I don't want to walk into a movie, like, there's 20 minutes of freaking,
previews or whatever.
And we still missed 5 minutes of the movie, man. Like, maybe we'll just go to the mall or go get something to eat, and then we'll come back and watch the movie from the beginning, when it plays again. And then never
a sense of urgency.
Right, just none,
Oh, my wife's the opposite. It's like, hey, okay, we have to be at this place at noon.
Drives me nuts.
But the place is 10 minutes away, all right?
Right.
So we have to be there at noon. It's 10 minutes away. If you want to, we can leave at 11:45. Like, we need to be in the car by 11:22. And I was like, why do we
Did she get that specific?
Dude, not that specific, but you get like a 3-minute window. Okay, we have to leave between 11:21 and 11:24. And you're like, okay, are we stopping somewhere on the way or what's going on? No, I just want to make sure we get there on time. Like, baby, it's 15 minutes away. We're leaving 45 minutes before we need to be there. I'm not understanding. Right. And then when we get there, it's always, oh, God, we have to wait now. Like, because we got here early.
Yeah.
Of course we have to wait. This is what I was trying to tell you.
I used to say stuff like that. Okay, so tonight we have our Odyssey Company Christmas party.
Yay.
All right, so.
Not me.
It starts at 6. Starts at 6 o'clock. We're still going to be on the air, so it'll be a little bit late for that. But if I was at home in that relationship, I'd say, okay, the Christmas party is tonight. It's at 5:30.
Correct.
Right. And I'm like, look, I don't care if we casually stroll in at 5:40, but the party starts at 5:30. We would then get there at about 6:20.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's how I used to manage that. Because if not, the party's about halfway over by the time we get there. We wouldn't roll in until after 7, 7:15, 7:30, something like that. All the food's gone. All the drink tickets are, they've been handed out, whatever the deal is.
Why do people struggle with that? Like, you give them this time, right? Like, so, and it doesn't matter what time it is. It could be 3 a.m. But if that's the time that we need to be somewhere or do whatever it is we're going to do, like, we've known about this. It's all you got to do is get dressed. This really is not a difficult thing, man. I don't understand how people operate.
And my problem is the estimation of time is wrong on the other side of it. I know that I can leave. If I need to leave at 4:30. I will be ready by 4:30. I will probably be in the car ready to go at 4:25, and I'm good to go. My problem is estimating just how long it's going to take me to get places, and that's where I get harped on is how long it takes. My estimations of everything. How much something is, how much something weighs, how long it takes to go do this, how long ago something was. That in my brain is just completely gone. Oh, we did that. That was like 2 weeks ago. That was yesterday.
Right. Like even we went up to Banff and Jasper, which is a beautiful place in Canada. And I had an itinerary. I had a hotel room for us about halfway, but we needed to leave by a certain time just to be able to like maybe go out to dinner when we got there, just kind of enjoy the evening in this lake at this hotel. They had a restaurant that is open, but it closes at like 9. So. Ideally, if we get to the hotel by 7:30 or 8 o'clock at night, we still have time to run downstairs at the hotel in the small town that does not have much of anything and go get dinner. Now, the idea is that we need to leave at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. My bag is packed. There is gas in the car. I am ready to go the night before for the most part. The only thing I need to do is throw my toiletries in my bag in the morning, put on clothes. We hit the road.
Right.
We're leaving at 8 o'clock. We rolled out at 10:30.
You've got to be kidding me.
Guess who didn't eat dinner? I mean, I stopped at the equivalent of like Tim Hortons or something because I knew we weren't going to make it. And that's the kind of stuff that just frustrates the living hell out of me as far as like...
What takes an additional 2.5 hours? If 8 o'clock is like, I would even understand 8:30. That would piss me off. But I could live with that. But like 10:30...
And I understand that, can we go to the store later? There's almost like a mental preparation. But when you hear hours in advance, bus is out at 8 a.m.
Yes, it has to be because it's a long drive and it's going to be all day. We don't know how long it's going to take to get through the border. There's all these other factors included in it.
Right.
We need to leave at 8 o'clock. It's not a big deal. Like, I can get up. I can shower. We're out the door, man. This is easy. And I'm sitting there on the couch just fuming. Right.
Now the trip starts bad.
Yes.
Oh, I have this couple of shirts that I want to bring, but they still have about 15, 20 minutes to go in the dryer.
Oh, my God.
Or whatever it was. I was just like, what? Like, why is this important? Like, we're staying in a cabin in the woods when we get there. Like, this is your looks don't matter.
Right. That's where we're going.
I mean, was a bear going to look at it and go, oh, dumb shirt, kid?
Right. You had to leave 15 minutes ago. Why are you cleaning the kitchen?
It is amazing. My wife's the opposite of that, man. Like, especially if we're going to the airport, all right? I mean, like, the suitcases show up in the bedroom about a week in advance.
Yes.
And I was trying to dial her down a little bit, and she's like, pick out the clothes you're going to want to take on this trip. And I go, look, man, I can prepare for the weather there. The problem is my clothes are my clothes. I might want to wear them to work in the meantime. You know what I mean? Like, the clothes that I like, I typically just wear to work. So I don't know what they're going to be. But then the countdown comes on. Within 3 days, you really need to pick out the clothes. So I'm like, oh, my God. Okay. So I just, by day, that's how many underwear, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got for 6 days. 6 pairs of socks. Grab some T-shirts. Inevitably, I'm never really wearing what I want to wear when I leave because I have been forced. And trust me, it's just easier to pack.
Speaking of which, I need your guys' men's room radio submissions as soon as you can.
Oh, crap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I know you're all going to sit down for like an hour and just write all these down. I just need you guys to sit down and actually do it.
I'm almost done. You're right. But then the kids...
So by end of year or by Friday?
Friday.
Friday, Ted.
Friday.
But like the kids' suitcases...
Early's
are
okay,
pre-packed.
too.
And the kids the kids have no say in what they're going to wear because their mother,
different.
she's like, look, I have packed your clothes. You will wear what's in there, and it's the goddamn clothes we bought you. With me, eventually, she's like, just put them on the bed.
Right.
I will pack them. She does not even let me pack the suitcase.
3-day weekend, and you can't bring a carry-on. It's 3 days.
Like we need a suitcase.
And it's one thing to leave the home and drive. You'll eventually get there. That's on your terms. I was hoping we could get there a little bit earlier so we could have dinner together. But when it comes to an airplane, they don't have around.
Right.
And you need to go through security. You know the process. I cannot believe now we have to check a bag. I cannot believe that I'm racing to the airport. I cannot believe how close we are to not getting on this airplane. You know that feeling of you walking down the aisle of an airplane and everyone is in their seat and there are 2 open and it's yours?
Right.
You're just like, oh my God. It's like...
But I've only done that because I was at the bar.
Well, that's different.
It wasn't me.
You were already in... I
was at the airport, yes.
I'm losing my heart palpitating going through security. Like, we have a layover someplace and we got to get on the plane. We don't have much time there to do that, blah, 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 blah. I'm like... How does this not make sense?
You're so frustrating to travel with.
Right, exactly. Why do you get all wound up and everything? You should have gone down this road to park. Oh, my God.
Right.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We should have been here an hour ago. We're going to be late. You need to find a place to park. You need to shut up.
Dude, I got one for you. Boarding a cross-country flight. It's me and a girlfriend. We get to the gate. There is still some time. Right. Starbucks across the way. It's like, yeah, we got time. Gets a coffee. It's not the right coffee. She goes, I don't think it's the right coffee. And I go, send it back.
Right.
Like they're boarding. We don't have a lot of time. She proceeds to take a sip of it. This isn't the right one. You got to go back now. Like, this happens like the third time. And I'm not a yeller, but I will kind of snap a little bit. And I said, just effing throw it out. Right? Just like, what? Yeah. I don't know what you think bitching about it in this. And you could have got a replacement. But now the line is huge. The plane is, I was like, just throw it out.
Yes. You know the other one that does that? Amtrak. If it's 11 o'clock, you can look at your watch, and at 10:59:30, man, there's a guy standing in the door like, you got 30 seconds.
Yep.
They do not mess around. So
and I appreciate that about
dude,
it.
I appreciate it, but if you're with someone who can never be on time, it is one of the most stressful things in the world. And by the way, you open up this, like, why do I have to put your S in my suitcase? These boots won't fit. Well, it's because you got 3 pairs of boots. I don't know which ones I want to wear. Can't you figure that out before we leave? The one that goes with the outfit that you pack. Well, I'm not sure what outfit I'm going to wear when I get there. How many days did you pack for? We're only there for 3. Well, I've got 6 different things I might wear. I'm like, oh, my God. And then
oh, my God.
These are, you have 6 toiletry bags? They have shampoo in the hotel. It's not the right shampoo for my hair.
Of course it's not.
And conditioner. You brought a loofah? They have washcloths. Like, what is going? You brought floss. I've never even seen you floss.
Right. Like, are you moving out?
I mean, you are the worst traveling companion
but I have to bring a bigger suitcase for all the souvenirs.
Can you carry that for me? Are you kidding me? What is in here?
I'm over the way. We need to move some stuff into your bag.
That's exactly right. Not only are we late, now we've got 2 bags open at the desk.
Right.
And I'm putting stuff in mine. And what do they tell you? Never put other people's stuff in your suitcase in an airport. You take care of your bag. Like, that has never happened in the history of us traveling together. I've always got her bag. I've always got her stuff in my bag. It got me in trouble at the Canadian border.
What?
Oh, yeah. I got pulled aside because I took money out of the ATM down at the Clipper. So we were on our way to Victoria. And once again, a couple things happened. First of all, I take $100 out. That money is covered in cocaine. All right, but I had the receipt. Because when they pulled me over, apparently we looked like a drug-running couple. I don't know what the deal was, but they had identified somebody.
I mean, I've seen you, Miles. Fair assumption.
Exactly, but I don't know.
Maybe they'd met you before.
First question.
Shades on. Put up.
Yeah, well, I was wearing my yellow sunglasses. I mean, I look.
You look like a cocaine runner.
Cap pulled down.
Yeah, I didn't look like I didn't do cocaine. How about that?
Collars pulled up.
Yeah, exactly. I got a gold chain. Right? I got a gold chain, man. What do you need? But so they pull me in there, man, and the guy says, "Is everything in this bag yours?" And I said, "Yeah." He opens up the bag, starts rifling through it, and there's a machine that they put that kind of goes. It's like a vacuum, like. There was no cocaine in my bag, but when I emptied all my pockets and stuff, he's like, "Your wallet is peppered in cocaine," and I was like, "That's impossible." So he's like, "It's actually the money. The money is covered in cocaine." Which was probably from the ATM.
Yes.
Obviously, it was from the ATM. Yeah. But I showed them the receipt. I said, I just took this money out. I said, the idea was I was going to exchange it because you guys have an exchange booth here.
Yeah.
So I just brought the money so I could, I didn't know my card, whatever. I just want to have cash. So I bring that. So he runs it through and he's like, okay, well, yeah, you're right. The money is covered in cocaine. So I gave him the thing and he's like, okay, is there anything in the bag that's not yours? I'm like, no, it's just my stuff. Keep in mind, he separated myself from my wife.
Of course.
All right. He unzips my bag. One of the first things on the top, 3 toiletry bags for my wife. What do they all have in them? All of her prescription medications.
Oh, God.
With her names on it. And we're not talking like, we're talking Percocet, we're talking Xanax, we're talking all the stuff that she travels, quote unquote, with.
Right.
I'm just like, he's like, these prescription drugs aren't yours. This is not your name. I'm like, they're my wife's. He's like, but I asked you if everything in the bag was yours, and you told me that it was. And I said, She put them in there because she doesn't have room in her bag. If you just go open her bag, you'll see there's absolutely no room. I would even recommend you emptying that bag because you'll never be able to put all the stuff back in.
Right.
You know, it's like Tetris. It's a miracle. So I was detained for like a half an hour. And he's going through every single drawer. And I'm like, he's like, what is this? I'm like, I don't know. Right. He's like, but all this is yours. I'm like, it's not. I told you it's my wife's. And by the time that I'm done with this, like, this is a nice little weekend getaway. And I'm fuming. You know, I'm just fuming. I'm like, I need a beer, and I need it now. We're not even checking into the hotel.
Why do you need a beer, Miles?
We're not checking into the hotel. I'm going straight to the hotel bar, then we'll check in.
You need a drink right now?
Oh, yeah.
You need a drink right now?
Yeah, exactly. I do.
God, why do you need a drink
you know what?
already?
I'll check in then, and you can just meet me up there.
Perfect.
All right. Game on. I need to calm the F down.
I like to check in right and then go to the hotel.
I do too, but I was just at that point where I'm like shaking, like, I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill her.
Somebody here says, sounds like Miles went on vacation with my ex-wife.
Yeah. Past or present, what is your significant other not real good at, and what would they say about you? 206-803-ROCK.
Let's be honest. Preventing pregnancy is a pain. Whether you're picking birth control up every month or running to grab Plan B, it costs too much time, money, and effort. All while your partner gets to go about their day uninterrupted. WISP is changing the game. At hellowisp.com, you can get the reproductive care you need without stepping foot in a doctor's office or waiting in line. Have birth control delivered on your schedule and get emergency contraceptive before you need it. Use code CARE, C-A-R-E, at hellowisp.com for 15% off your first order. That's hello.wisp.com and have it delivered for free.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. If they don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
At Enterprise, we know you're constantly on the move. Getting this?
Thanks, Mom.
Fixing that. You reach a destination. And then it's on to the next. And when life is moving at the speed of, well, life, Enterprise is right there with you. Around the corner and around the globe. We'll keep you moving forward. Enterprise. For lives in drive.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
A couple other things that people say that they are not real good about themselves.
All right.
I'm a good driver, but parallel parking breaks my brain. It's a perpetual embarrassment. I actually am not a bad parallel parker. When it comes to driving, I drive too fast, but seem to do okay on that one.
Yep.
Another person says conversation, small talk. I can get to hello, how are you, good, then I get stuck.
Yep.
Typically, I just kind of smile, nod slightly, and wander away. My hardest part about conversation and introducing people is another one that I've explained many times over in my lifetime. If I walk up to someone and I don't introduce them to you, that's because I don't know their name. I know them, I don't remember it off the top of my head at that point.
Yeah.
This is when you need to step in for me and say, hi, I'm such and such, so I can hear their name too.
Like, man, it's got to be a team effort.
Look, hey, brother, how are you, man? Been a while. What's new?
Right. And you going to introduce me?
You can lead that one too, Miles. Hey, have you met Steve?
Right.
Don't say their name. Just, have you met Steve?
You got to jump on
better ways to do it, I'm sure.
My wife is very good. Well, she knows that I do not remember anyone's name. I've heard their name. I know the context for why they're important in our life, I guess, or whatever, but I don't remember who they are when I see their face. So anytime we go to an event where there's a lot of people, she always walks very close to me. And basically, if you can hear the conversation, it's the guy with the gray hoodie. His name is Greg. You met him 2 weeks ago at this place. His wife is Barbara. Now, she's the one whose son plays with our son on the weekends. The guy in the back over there, the guy is already kind of waving to you. Okay, that's Greg. Be real happy when you see him and I'm like, good looking out, babe. And then when I roll up there, what's up, Greg? Hey, Linda, man, good to see you guys.
You met him last year at our company Christmas party. He's the husband of, you guys had a beer. Yeah, I remember him. I just don't remember his name.
No idea.
I met him for like a half an hour a year ago, and yeah, I was interested. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Sheets to the wind.
He's a great guy. I just can't. I can't believe that he remembers mine either.
I guarantee he doesn't.
He doesn't. So,
he doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like guys are real bad with that, and in the end, we don't care. It doesn't.
Well, we're
matter.
also good with it because I can come up, man. I don't know if you remember me. I'm Mike.
Yeah. We don't talk. We don't talk about things that pertain to anything like, oh, how's your kids doing? That's not a guy conversation. No, it's a typical thing like, how's Charlie doing?
That's a Ted conversation, though.
Yeah.
Ask people about their family.
Well, I typically.
I rarely do.
Yeah,
so my wife will ask me a lot of times, like, oh, Christmas is coming up. Is Ted going anywhere? Yeah. I don't know. Is Miles going anywhere? I don't know. Is Mike going anywhere? Mm-hmm. I don't know. How are Miles' daughters? I don't know.
Yeah. How's Charlie doing? I guess he's okay. Right. You just spent 5 hours with him on a golf course. What did you talk about? I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, was he dating anyone?
No one's coworker stuff's different, but if I'm talking to somebody at a party, I feel like that's or if it's somebody I haven't talked to in a while, it's kind of natural to be like, well, how's the family? How's this?
Sure, if I know them. Absolutely. And if I know their family members. But if I'm at a Christmas party talking to a dude who happens to be
I won't even
the husband of a coworker of the wife or girlfriend or whatever the deal is, that's just not what I talk about.
It doesn't cross my mind to ask. It's not that I don't care. It never crosses. My wife's always like, how do you spend all this time together? And you don't know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it doesn't come up, man. Usually either we're talking about work or we're making really off-color, horrible jokes.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I hope so. I hope he's getting some.
I have told my wife one time, I'm like, why don't you just text Miles and ask him the questions you're asking me?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Past or present, what is your significant other not real good at, and what would they say about you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the men's room.
Boo, bitches.
Boo.
So, I have an ex that would leave voicemail messages that sometimes would run on for, I don't know how long, 5 minutes. I would just erase them.
Yeah, so what kind of information is she putting in a voice? Because most people I know, they don't bother to leave a voicemail unless it's a business or something like that. Otherwise, your buddy just texts you. The phone rings, they realize you can't get a hold of them, so you just say, hey, man, hit me up later, because blah, blah, blah.
Thumbs up.
Right. This was about the dumbest stuff, and all of it. And I would try to explain to her, look, just call me, say, hey, I need to talk to you, maybe list what the subject is, call me back. That's all you need to say.
Right. Well, look,
and we're going to talk about it all when we talk to each other. So, guys, it was like hitting yourself in the face with a hammer trying to get her to understand this.
Well, my wife has the habit of, so she'll text me something at work, and I respond. And as soon as I respond, there is a follow-up text related to whatever my response was. And I'll respond. And my responses are like, okay.
But it's not an owl.
No, but it keeps going and going. And finally, I'll get up and I just call her. I go, babe, I'm just calling you because this is so much faster. Yeah. I'm just calling you because in 2 minutes,
I'm the same way.
We can have this conversation that over text is going to take up 45 minutes.
Also, it's timing. Like, let's just say you're going to go and see their family in 2 or 3 weeks. It's 1:45. We go on the air at 2:00. I would get a call like, you're not going to believe this. I just talked to my mom, and you know how first we were going to go over to my Aunt Jill's house, and then we were going to meet up with the cousins, and we were supposed to go downtown.
And you're thinking, no, I don't.
And then we were going to, well, now she doesn't want to do that, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, this is 3 weeks from now, and I don't really care what I'll give you my opinion about what I think, but ultimately this is your family's thing, and whatever you guys want to do.
And this when I get home.
I just want to tell you what she said to me. I would love to hear all of this. This is
which is a lie.
It's just not. It's just not the right time. I need to get in there or whatever the deal is. Can we please? Let's talk about this during dinner tonight. Hey, where do you go? Do you want to go to dinner, man? We could talk about it then. I don't want to go out tonight for dinner. What I was thinking was that I would run up to the Fred Meyer. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, stop. We'll talk about it later. I don't care what we do for dinner. We can eat pretzels. I don't care.
It is. I mean, but that's how the conversations go. And it's not that you're not trying to communicate things. It's just, you try to use as few words as necessary. So, how was your day? Good. How was the show? Cool. And if you want to, what happened on the show? I mean, it was a good show. I don't know what happened. I guess we were just satisfied with our performance and the callers that called in. I don't know how to explain that, right? But then I make the mistake of saying, how was your day? And it begins at whatever moment we parted. So if we parted company at 9:57 and 30 seconds, I will hear what happened at 9:57 and 31 seconds and every detail of all things up until the point that I've now arrived at home. And it's amazing, man. I'm like, baby, could have just said, it was a good day today.
Have you ever... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, the after-work conversation, I'm with you. That one's tough. I still need like half an hour.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's part
you know
of
what I
it.
mean? And generally, if somebody asks me, like a lot of times, especially on Fridays, I will meet my buddy Joe. We will go get some drinks. And he'll always say, how was the show? You know, or be like, what'd you talk about? And I'll try to struggle a little bit to remember exactly what we're talking about. But generally, I'm just grading my performance.
Also,
so I'll either be
right?
like, oh, I was okay. Or there's some days I'll be like, yeah, that sucks. I couldn't hit a joke.
And sometimes, for me, it's almost, because we do talk for 4 hours, it's almost harder to listen because you have to listen intently.
Right.
To people's conversation all the time. So you do that, hyper focus for 4 hours. So it's not that I don't want to necessarily talk. It's just that I don't want to listen. I don't mind continuing talking. I don't want to really talk about work.
That's a nice way to describe it. I will talk to you. I just don't want to listen to you.
I can't listen.
Not right now.
Your mouth is moving, but you're not saying anything.
You ever turn the table on them and just describe your day in full detail and just see their eyes fall asleep?
No, because honest to God, I don't remember the whole thing in detail. How was work? It was good. Why? I just remember laughing a lot. The callers that called them were really cool, but I have no real... only other thing, I went to the bathroom 3 times. I almost slipped on a fart. I mean, honestly, those are the things I remember about my day. How many times did you almost poop yourself? How long did you hold to pee? Did you fart in the elevator? Those are the things. And I know she doesn't care. And she doesn't want to hear it. So really, in the end, it's good, bad, or it was okay.
Things people say that they're not real good at. Simple math. Basic addition, subtraction, multiplying, and dividing. I do 2 + 2 = 4, but 275 + 72 would take me a while to do in my head, probably several minutes. I hate this about myself. The numbers get jumbled in my mind, and I end up losing the idiot calculation and get frustrated. And in my 30s, I have the math basic level of a 4th grader. The ones I hate are the 6-numbered codes, 7-numbered codes to get you into a website that is locked for whatever reason.
Oh, right,
a security thing on it, and they text it to you and say, we're going to send you the 7-digit code when you get it, bless you. Lock it in. And I'm like, 67854, 67854.
I got to repeat it.
By the time I get there, I'm like 68475. Damn it.
Right.
Come out on your phone?
Yeah, anytime I'm trying to get into one of the secure things where it's like a...
So they send it to your email or whatever the hell they do.
Just put in the security code.
Got an iPhone, brother? You click on it. It says copy text. You say, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
All the basics.
Generally, the iPhone...
Samsung does it automatically.
I was going to say, in the iPhone, honestly, if you're trying to log into your bank account and it sends you that code, when you switch back from the text, it usually will suggest that number.
One person says they suck at geography. I couldn't tell you basic stuff, even for places in my own country.
Wow. I'm not good at rocks either.
Geography, yes. Geology. Geography.
You all right, Ted?
I don't know.
What
It's
is
just
going on?
it's something dry in the back of my
Got a
throat.
tickle back there?
Yeah, I keep sucking down water, but I can't stop coughing. I feel fine.
Someone says, I can't ride a bike. I've dated this person. I've watched them crash multiple times. It's the damnest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's just weird to me.
It is. I've tried
I will
to
say
learn.
the geography thing drives me up a wall. Don't say you're going up somewhere if it's south of you.
I know that drives me nuts, too.
Going up to Portland. Now you're going down to Portland.
Yeah. Or going up to Spokane. You're going over to Spokane.
Yeah.
For us, the only place that's interchangeable is Vancouver. You're either going
Yeah,
up
go
or
up
down
or
to
down.
Vancouver.
Depending on the one, sure. I can't ride
Yeah,
a
but
bike.
ask Miles. It's important to know which way you're going.
Yes, it is. God almighty, that was the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life.
What? Wait. What now? You went to the wrong Vancouver?
No, I got, basically, we were going to go up to Canada.
Wait a minute. You did go to the wrong Vancouver.
Oh, yeah. I did not go to the wrong. I got off and got on a different train going the other direction from Tacoma. So once we got to Tacoma, I got my ass off of the train and then waited for the next train, which was not a train, but was in fact a Greyhound bus, because at the time, depending on the time of the day and the run, Amtrak trains don't run on the hour or anything. They get maybe 1 or 2. I know they updated it to maybe 3 runs a day lately, but for the most part, it's just. So, yeah, I bought a ticket to Vancouver, and I am fresh off the boat here, basically. And so, to me, there's only one Vancouver.
Sure.
I mean, they could be. Look, I understand that you might have a sister city someplace with a similar name in a different place around the world, but to have to be like, oh no, I live in Boston, New York.
Right. Nobody.
What? Like, I flew into Logan.
Right.
Like, to me, like, you can't be that close and name the town the same damn name. So I buy the tickets. I did not even look at Washington. I just saw Vancouver. I click on it. I'm like, this is affordable. Because it was like $25, $30. It wasn't a big deal.
Like, if you don't live in this general area and you say Vancouver, the only Vancouver is in Canada.
So, of course, my spider senses kick in.
Because you're headed south?
Oh, because we're passing the stadiums. I'm like,
nice dome.
I'm like, maybe the railway loops around, like an exit on a 4-leaf clover of an interstate. Or when we're on the water. So I wonder when we're going to go the other way. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, we are getting off in Tacoma.
Right.
Like, we are getting the hell off of this train. I have made a grave error once I realized what the hell they were cool enough, though, to just, like, accept the ticket and let us get on and go the other direction. Actually, Amtrak, their customer services.
Good to know.
It's just some dude with a pocket watch going, yeah, man, just get on. I don't care. Find a seat. Past or present, what is your significant other not real good at? And what would they say about you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Tim. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So my wife, going on 35 years, does not believe me when it comes to home maintenance, home remodel, construction, anything to that effect, even though I was self-employed as a contractor for 29 years. I'm a building inspector for 8 years, been in the industry for over 45 years. Anytime anything comes up, she needs somebody else's opinion, and she gravitates towards people who have no clue what they're talking about.
Oh, yeah. I think everyone's in that boat where you can tell, and I'm sure we might do it too. I don't know. But I feel like anytime you say something to your significant other, if they have a question and you give an answer or it's advice or something along those lines, they tend to not believe you, and then they'll consult their friends. And if their friends come back and say the exact same thing
then it's perfectly
that you
fine.
did, now it's okay.
Perfect. Hey, my buddy told me about this place downtown. We should go get a steak. It's called the Metropolitan Grill. Apparently, it's the best steakhouse in town. What friend told you that? Well, Ted did. Like, has Ted been to all the steakhouses in town? I don't know. He just said it was really good, and we should go down there. 1 week later, we should. You know what? We should go to the Met. I have a friend.
My friend Cindy said
she
it's great.
just brought it up and said that, we should go there and get dinner sometime on a special occasion.
He was like, oh, my God.
I've already told you this.
We had this conversation.
Exactly. But you just don't trust my friends or me.
That's it. Right.
Anything that revolves around or is friends with me, whatever their advice is, it's
not good.
It's not at all. But anything from her side, of course, this is the place to be. Past or present, what is your significant other not real good at, and what would they say about you? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Ray. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hola.
Hola. Check it out. My wife is a chef, and she cooks really, really yummy food. She just won't cook for me, so she's bad at cooking for me.
So is it that she doesn't feel like doing it because she's been doing it at work all day, or she just doesn't want to cook for you, period?
Man, we've had this conversation, and it's like I cooked all day, but I got a feeling it's just because you don't want to cook for me. But I couldn't tell you for sure. She always says it's because of the work thing. But she's the manager. She don't cook.
Okay.
Okay.
I see what you're saying here.
But she can cook, right? When she does cook, is it pretty good?
Oh, my God, it is, yes. And that's what she should be doing.
Okay. Now, what would she say about you that you're not very good at?
That, I road rage way too much. I mean, whether I'm driving or not driving, everybody's an idiot. I just can't help myself.
Does anybody not road rage? I mean, everyone I know road rage. It's just kind of what we do now, right? I mean, I'm not getting out of the car to fight somebody.
Yeah, I don't drive aggressively toward other drivers. I drive a little too fast, but I don't get involved in that game because I don't want to get shot. But but I'm very vocal about the people that are around me doing dumb things.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, no turn signal guy, or the guy with the turn signal on the entire time, the slow person in the left lane, all the standard things that just drive
the
me
same
up the
things that everyone bitches about on every ride. Gary, every curse word that my kids know, they learn from their mom when she's driving.
Yep. Yeah, I will give your wife credit. She drives on my level.
She does.
So I like.
And it doesn't matter the vehicle.
I like to be in the car with her because I know there's no BS. We're going to get to where we're going. We're always going to get there fine. We're always never seen her or heard of her wrecking a car or anything like that.
No.
And
you just feel like you're going to die.
You're just going to get there. You're going to get there in double time.
And you just have to keep in mind that apparently, now I don't know this for sure, but it seems that the governor signed something for my wife that says these rules do not apply to you when you're on the roadway.
Yeah.
Right? Just like, babe, I don't think we can. Jesus Christ. Okay, never mind. I'm going to do it anyway. You know, flip the U. She doesn't care. She is going to get to her destination, period. Baby, I don't know if we can jump over that wall. Yeah! I mean, that's what we're doing. Whatever's in the way of her getting where she's going, you need to move.
I don't think we can reverse on the freeway. I missed my exit.
Do anything you want.
Look at the Waze app. There's a cop ahead a quarter of a mile. What's he doing? It says there's a cop ahead a quarter of a mile. I don't care. He pulled someone over. Yeah. It ain't me. Coming up, the return of Who Sucks Less, and we've got your emails on the way next to the men's room at KISW.com.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. On We Can Do Hard Things, my wife Abby, my sister Amanda, and I talk honestly about the hard parts of life. Join us and guests like Michelle Obama, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Brene Brown as we have refreshingly honest conversations. New episodes are out every Tuesday and Thursday, so listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things, an Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Let's be honest, preventing pregnancy is a pain. Whether you're picking birth control up every month or running to grab Plan B, it costs too much time, money, and effort. All while your partner gets to go about their day uninterrupted. WISP is changing the game. At hellowisp.com, you can get the reproductive care you need without stepping foot in a doctor's office or waiting in line. Have birth control delivered on your schedule and get emergency contraceptive before you need it. Use code CARE, C-A-R-E, at hellowisp.com for 15% off your first order. That's hello.wisp.com and have it delivered for free.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Return of Who Sucks Less on the way, but first time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
One from our question today, past or present, what is your significant other not real good at? And what would they say about you guys? My guy is inconsistent with turn signals and getting those headlights on. I struggle to get my act together in general. That said, I'll attempt to get you guys something while you're on break. Happy holidays, that from Holly. Holly, I don't know what that something is, but we'll take it. It doesn't matter.
She
Whatever
said she
you got.
struggles to use turn signals?
Said her husband does.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah. She just struggles to get her act together. As we move on to the birthdays, only
I will
gentlemen.
say, now that I'm driving again, I am a stickler about the signal.
Yes.
Right? But sometimes you got to make a left where it's not convenient for the people behind you. There's 2 lanes on each road.
Yeah.
I see people getting fired up, but I'm like, I'll sit in my car and be like, hey, listen, man, I had that turn signal on. You had a chance to change lanes.
Yep. Gentlemen, want to wish our friend Chris a very happy birthday today. Can you give him your D is too small, a big old bong rip, and all of you talking all over each other about pineapple upside down birthday cake? Thanks, guys. That from Dennis and Jessica. I don't know too much about pineapple upside down cake, but I know what an upside down pineapple means.
It's not that bad.
Dennis and Jessica.
It looks pretty
You're
good.
swingers.
It's spongy.
It's
It's
not so bad. It's
upside
not
pineapple
fruity, but I would prefer
cake
something
to
else.
a
But I
party.
like the effort.
Do people think you're a swinger?
It's upside down.
Do they? Chad, think about this.
Stop putting people on Front Street, man. Nobody knows that.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, you bring a pineapple upside down cake to a party.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're in a room with like 6 people.
I might do it.
Who knows? I don't know. It's a pineapple that's upside down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I want to wish my friends Josh a happy 38th trip around the sun. He's been a Northwest hospital for 8 months. Unfortunately, he's celebrating his birthday in there. That is a long time. I know he would like a Leroy Jenkins, a few shotgun blasts, and the Germans talking about getting back going and getting out there and playing Pokemon Go. Thanks, guys. That from Philip.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Get. Yeah, I can't believe that your whole motivation to get out of the hospital is to play Pokemon Go. I think you want to get out of the hospital to do a little Pokemon.
Yeah, so the funny thing is, you should turn that game into one he wants to play. It's a Pokemon Ho.
Yeah, or Pokemon Blow.
Hello, guys. Just turned 39 today. Was hoping to get a shout out. It would definitely brighten my day. Can I get some advice from Coach Ted on dealing with approaching the 40s, please? Thank you, guys. Appreciate everything y'all doing. Congratulations on hitting 4,000 shows. That from Austin in Layton, Utah.
All right, Austin, I don't know where Layton, Utah is, but it sounds small. Approaching the 40s. I don't know. Let's be honest. I only know 2 cities in Utah.
Provo and Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, Provo, Park City. I guess
Park
I know
City,
3.
yeah.
Turning 40. Start drinking water now. So everybody's going to be like, you don't hydrate enough. You're over 40. Just start drinking water now. What do you got? How old is he? 38, 39?
39.
39. You got one more year. Now go out there before you turn 40. Kind of like the 20s. You got one little year left to really have some fun and go crazy. And do something stupid, too. Buy a dirt bike. But I don't know how to ride.
Guys, this year marks 39 years of friendship with Larry of Greenwich, Connecticut. He's 43 today. I'd like to wish him a happy birthday with the Dirty Germans, talking about how they used to be a mechanic with him. Don't hold back. He's a big boy who loves power. Thank you, guys. That from Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones.
Yeah, I used to enjoy working with him in the old mechanic shop. I've never seen a man use his mouth on a dipstick.
Yeah, it's funny. He's the reason they use the term grease monkey.
Yeah.
You should squeeze the ways that man can bend. It's like a Bavarian pretzel.
Yeah, I was thinking more as grease so that you can go through the backside.
Yeah, if monkeys had opposable thumbs, it'd be him.
Jesus. All right, guys, here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Bob. A couple extra emails. Who got injured? This will be one for the books. When I was 7, my mom got me a stick candy cane. You know, the kind with a hook at the top.
Yeah.
Well, I sucked.
It's a damn candy cane.
I sucked on the tip of
one.
And decided to check the tree, see if it needed water. With said death spear clenched in my teeth, as I bent down, I hit the floor and drove back into the hinge point of my jaw. with a candy cane. Left a huge hole in my mouth. Crazy thing, 1/4 inch to the left would have come out in front of my ear. 1/4 inch to the right, back of my throat. Potentially killed or paralyzing me. Happy holidays. Jeez. Fan for life. That's from Lori.
You will die from a candy cane.
Didn't you guys always do that too, the bottom of it? Like when you're a kid, make it as sharp as you could.
Oh, yeah.
Sucking on it.
For sure.
I'm trying to think.
You did.
No.
I'm telling. Really?
Like a pencil, you mean?
Yeah,
I don't think I ever did
like
that.
a knife.
I'm
a knife.
I'm a biter of the candy cane.
No,
I'm a biter and a sucker of pieces.
A biter and a sucker of pieces.
Crack, 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 crack. Like
You never took the time. You could literally, if you suck on that thing long enough, you could make it pointy and sharp.
I put a little piece in there and then stick it down to my lip like I had a dip in. You know, like a peppermint dip.
Peppermint dip. All right.
Kind of like I had chaw on it.
You eat stuff weird.
Candy canes, yeah, probably do. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I suck on it when it's in my mouth, but it's in pieces. All of Michelle is from Hornell, New York. As far as random smuggling goes, back in 1987, a few friends and I went to see Dokken and Aerosmith at the Rochester War Memorial.
Oh, yeah.
Dokken. Did Dokken ever have a big hit?
Yeah, Alone Again.
Was that their biggest hit?
That was, I want to say that was their biggest hit, and then they tried another slow song on their next album, Slipping Away or some crap like that.
Dream Warriors, In My Dreams.
Oh, that's right, I forgot. Yeah.
Alone Again, Breaking the Chains, Into the Fire.
In My Dreams. Okay. All right.
That was from, I want to say it was from, Freddy Krueger movies.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. We're all around 16 at the time, so we take a bus from Dansville, New York to Rochester. My friend, which one's this? This is Alone Again. Alone Again.
This is the one that got them ass.
So they weren't alone.
I mean, this is 80s power ballad at its finest, my friends.
Yeah.
I thought Dokken was hard.
They had some songs that kind of rocked, but this was not it.
I thought he said Hot Pocket. Hot Pocket.
You don't remember this tune?
No.
God, they played the living hell out of this thing back in the day.
Oh, I have. Yes, I do know that.
Yeah,
now
see?
with the hook up.
Dokken.
So, my friend Larry, as we're on the bus, spent the whole time rolling joints from a massive bag of weed that I had acquired.
Yeah, you did.
Well, you roll 30 joints. We smoked a few walking around downtown Rochester. Short story long. To get the joints in the show, we bought a pack of Marlboro Light 100s, ripped all the filters off, stuffed the joints in the empty pack, and placed the filters on top of the joints. So it looked like a full pack of smokes. Worked like a charm. During the show, smoking one, get a tap on the shoulder. Someone says, "Hey, man, can I get a hit of that?" Hand him the joint without even looking. He hands it back and says, "Don't tell anyone." I look back, it was the security guy.
Oh, nice.
The 80s rock, guys. Love y'all. That from The Trickler.
Doesn't it seem odd that the Trickler and his buddy just rolled joints openly on a bus?
Right. But
then,
you got to sneak them into the...
Yeah, it's like, you guys don't seem like you care. I would have just put the joints in that cigarette pack and walked in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Coming up, we'll drink and tell us with a shot of the day, but first.
Now, the men's room wants to know who sucks less?
Hey, time for Who Sucks Less. Stephen Thrillhill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They all suck, but up to us to determine out of these 3 stories which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to follow KISW on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a tough one to figure out who sucks the most, because all these people suck and they all have very similar fetishes. But let us start right here in Washington State, where a man sought to hire a hooker for himself and his miniature horse. Jad Shipman, he was arrested following a probe involving TNA Board. That's an online site advertising sex/escort services. Yeah, go ahead. Pretend you didn't know that already. Anyway, using the screen name The Malamute, he offered to pay $440 to a forum user named Diane to have sexual contact with him and his miniature horse. Now, Diane provided cops with copies of the explicit messages sent to her by Shipman, who wrote that he wanted to, quote, watch a gal, feast on flicka, so to speak, while sitting on his male member.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, he was very specific. What do you want? Anyway, while trying to entice a potential paid companion, Shipman acknowledged the difficulty in arranging such a threesome. He wrote, quote, last 2 guys I asked said it was noticeably outside of their comfort zone. That's good. Now, when confronted by police, he reportedly admitted to being the TNA board member of the Malamute and soliciting Diane to canyon yodel one of his miniature horse's private parts. He selected Diane because she had posted on the board's fetish section, and he hoped that she'd be more agreeable to having sexual contact with him and his miniature horse. Now, during questioning, he admitted to having prior sexual contact with animals. An investigator reported spotting 2 miniature horses in a pasture that was his property. Anyway, a judge did release him on $1,000 bail in order to have no contact with animals.
Seems like a good idea.
So that's story 1.
So there's 2 miniature horses out there that need a home.
Yes. And it only gets worse. Now we have what they call a disturbing.
That's brutal.
A series of bestiality videos in a private group chat. A Florida man met with undercover female detective and sought to arrange a quote-unquote group sexual intercourse with the woman and his dog. Now, police were monitoring the social media public chat room, known as, it doesn't matter. They monitored earlier this year when a cop was contacted by someone using the handle Loverboy. Well, in subsequent private messages, the chat room user sent six bestiality videos. The suspect subsequently added the woman to a private group chat on the same social media platform, and he proceeded to send multiple videos in a group chat with other members. Now, according to investigators, the man identified as Jeremy Lavera. He met last week with the undercover agent at a public park, along with his German short-haired pointer dog named Remy. Lavera, cops say, sought to return to his nearby St. Petersburg home and engage in group sex with both the undercover cop and the dog. But instead, he was arrested on 15 counts of sexual activity involving animals as well as other felonies. Each of the 15 charges corresponds to a separate video that he had provided to the undercover cop. Anyway, he was freed from jail after posting bond, and a judge also barred him from having contact with any animals. And in case you're wondering, according to his LinkedIn page, he works as a security officer at a Tampa-based county public high school.
Oh,
that's comforting.
Oh, lovely.
And since we're in Florida, might as well stay there. A Florida woman was charged with receiving oral sex from her dog, but she confessed to the crime and told cops that the male husky, named Loki, was just being curious. According to Christina Colello and Jeffrey Springer, that's her ex-boyfriend, they were arrested and charged with sexual activity involving animals, which is a felony. Now, investigators say they recently recovered a video that was shot by the ex-boyfriend showing the animal performing on his ex-girlfriend. The video was then stored on a flash drive in a folder titled XXX Sex Videos Loki. Springer identified Kalelo as the woman in the video, and according to the cops, they noted that both Kalelo and this woman in the clip had the heart-shaped tattoo on her hip area. That's how they knew for a fact it was her. And she is apparently engaged in 30 to 50 sexual acts with the same dog over a span of 8 years. Now, after being read her rights, she reportedly admitted that the dog was possibly performing this on her numerous times, but the dog was just being curious. But video evidence showed she's not making any motions or gestures to stop the animal in the act. Anyway, they were both released from jail after posting bond, and once again, they have been ordered not to have contact with any animals.
Yeah, I mean, the Florida woman, that's a bad excuse because it's a dog.
Right, just being curious. Right.
Yeah, and like, put on some shorts. You know what I mean? Like, that's not that hard. Like, just pretty sure I can keep my privates away from a dog if I need to.
Yeah, don't worry. The cops didn't fall for it.
I always would.
And the number of times that this has happened, the curiosity is kind of worn off. This is habitual at this point.
Yeah, they estimate 30 to 50 sexual acts with
Yeah,
the dog.
I mean, look, I think as a guy, you've all had that. I don't know what it is with dog. Once in a while, you have that one dog that is just right. And you're like,
get away from my stuff, man.
Yeah.
But out of the 3 stories, there was actual acts committed in that story. So to me,
which
that
is
was
bad.
That to me, that's the worst one so far. So it's not, they don't suck the least, they suck the most.
No, she hands down sucks the most.
Correct.
She's a habitual defendant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, the other 2 situations, although they are somewhat similar, both were stopped before the actual act.
Sort of. The guy in the second story ended up getting arrested before he could do it again. But you have to keep in mind, he was posting videos of himself with his... So he had done this as a fact.
Right. So
and posted the videos to the chat.
But in that case, I'm going to say that the guy from Washington who attempted to hire a woman to have sexual contact with him and his miniature horse, just based on the fact... And I'm not saying that he hadn't done it before.
No, he admitted that he had done it before.
Okay.
He did not make videos of it. But yeah, when the cops pressed him, he's like, hey, man, I've done this before. But it was just him and the horses, not with the prostitute.
Sexual contact.
Sexual
Did they
contact.
say what he was doing with the horse?
No, man, but come on. I mean, look, you can pet a dog, but I know the difference between you petting my dog and you perhaps trying to have sex with my dog.
Well, I think that would be blatantly obvious.
Yes, sexual contact.
Yeah. I mean, look. Also, that's not a fetish, dude. That's a crime.
Right.
Man.
I told you this was tough.
This is tough. I don't know. I'll go Washington guy sucks the least just because it's a miniature horse.
You know what, Miles? I was about to say the same exact thing.
I don't know why.
Because miniature horses are funny. That's the only reason? Because it just seems so stupid.
Right. Somebody makes a good point here. They say, you realize some police officer has the job of watching and noting the details in these videos.
How does that person go home and eat?
I don't think you do. You know what I mean? It's like, it's one thing to hear that this crime has happened, but as they do the investigation, and keep in mind, in the one case, the guy uploaded like 12 videos. Mm-hmm. So you have to sit through each one to make sure he's actually committing the crime. Right? It's not just him messing around, throwing the ball for the dog to chase. Like, you have to, and then take notes, slow it down, go frame by frame, all this stuff. Like,
I know people are traumatized who have those jobs, whether it's in the IT world or they're working for the government.
Or like Facebook too, man. There's some of the posts they don't let.
Well, especially when it involves children.
Yeah.
Yes, that's horrible. I feel like somehow I could deal with the guy and a dog.
Better than child.
And I'll tell you what, man, I've always heard stories like this, but I remember hearing it in high school, and you're like, that can't be real. One guy's like, I swear to God, my neighbor, I saw him having sex with his dog. We were like, you're an idiot. And then when you read stories like this, you're like, son of a... Like, are people really
there was a professional...
There were worse stories than this that I read, which will scar me for life. I guarantee it. Just awful, messed up. These were the least offensive of the ones I went through today. That's not a joke. That's how bad it... these are the least offensive. It's worse than this out there, man.
Yeah, down on the farm. Down on the farm was a professionally produced porno movie back in the day.
Yeah.
It was on VHS.
And you just go to the store and buy it.
Yeah, it was on the shelf. You know, when you go back in their
there was women doing stuff with horses?
Dogs, horses.
Name it, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It was insane.
Jesus.
I mean...
But, if you went to, the adult section of a video store, it was there.
I've gone to parties where people have put it on.
Yeah, they put it on.
You're walking in the room like, God almighty, what are you watching? Like, I gotcha.
Yeah, you got me.
I mean, I've had sex with somebody while wearing a horse head.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Really?
Was that requested, or did you decide to do that?
What do you think?
The request was to
requested.
keep the head.
Yeah.
It was.
That person think you were that ugly? I'd rather you be a horse.
I don't know. She just said it would be funny, and I said, dude, I'm game.
Did you neigh or anything?
Honestly, it was hard to breathe. Those masks are all rubber.
Yeah. Oh.
Right? But it did look kind of funny. Afterwards, I was in the bathroom, hands on the hip, like, did you work, horse?
I'm a horse.
I hate that I'm picturing you having sex with a horse head on right now, dude.
Hey, enjoy it.
I can't.
Have you done it with the Ernie head?
No, because I used that costume.
Okay.
The horse head after that was pretty much a wrap.
All right.
I think that's as far as
and it was my
go.
buddy's horse head. And I said, hey, because you remember those horse heads.
Yeah.
They're funny. And I said, here's your horse head back. And he's like, cool. And I was like, hey, remember that girl, blah, blah, blah? And he's like, yeah. I was like, dude, she wanted me to have sex with her in the horse head. He was like, keep it. I was like, well, nothing got in there. He's like, I don't want you breathing all hard, sweating in there.
Coming up, we'll drink a toast with the shot of the day. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Let's be honest. Preventing pregnancy is a pain. Whether you're picking birth control up every month or running to grab Plan B, it costs too much time, money, and effort. All while your partner gets to go about their day uninterrupted. Wisp is changing the game. At hellowisp.com, you can get the reproductive care you need without stepping foot in a doctor's office or waiting in line. Have birth control delivered on your schedule and get emergency contraceptive before you need it. Use code CARE, C-A-R-E, at hellowisp.com for 15% off your first order. That's hello-wisp.com and have it delivered for free.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention LOVE20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, Dakota Miss will drink a toast for the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check-in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Thank you, Miles. The New York Post has asked the question on everyone's mind. Do emotional support animals need emotional support?
Yeah, who supports the animal?
Right?
Well, hopefully the person they're with.
You know, no,
they're messed up.
I'm not a therapist, but I got a feeling that sometimes they hear some stuff that they got to go home and they need to decompress some of that stuff too.
You know what's the old saying? The dogs say. Everybody asks who's a good boy. Nobody asks how's a good boy.
How's the good boy?
Hey, deep thoughts. Deep thoughts from Ted. I'm always wondering. Okay, so there's a dog, all right, and I get that. Because, look, I have a dog. I don't need an emotional support animal, but I love having my dog in spite of the fact that every screw holding her brain together is loose.
Correct.
What are the symptoms where they tell you, there's people with an emotional support? Turkey.
Right.
And they're like, what is going on with you that a turkey?
And how did that come to be, by the way?
That's what I mean.
Did you go to a store or a shop or an agency where they dispatched an emotional? We don't have any dogs or cats, but we do have a turkey in the back.
Like, do you know the animal you're going to get? If they say, hey, man, you need an emotional support animal, is it like people talk, I want to find my spirit animal. And everyone always thinks that they're going to go on some vision quest and the spirit animal's real cool. You know?
Sure.
It's a wolf. No one ever comes back and says, dude, my spirit animal is a tree sloth.
It's a pigeon.
Right, you know what I mean? Like,
It's a chipmunk.
You don't know, right? So, I mean, I'm just wondering, what do different conditions require different animals? And what is the condition?
I think sometimes the animal is just one they grew up with.
Okay, that would make sense.
You know what I mean?
All
It's
right.
like Miles talks about his buddy. Didn't he have a pet turkey?
Like Goober or something like that?
Yeah. Growing up, the thing was huge.
Yeah, so if you have it's like that guy that had the emotional support alligator outside the Phillies game or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, he was dead ass serious when he's like, yeah, he's my buddy and this and that. So I'm assuming you must know that animal already.
I guess.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
that
you're
would
right.
make sense.
There's no because when there's service animals, it's service dogs.
Right, it is a
Correct.
dog.
You know what I mean? Nobody's going to be like, here's your service hamster in case you're having a panic attack.
Please do not touch my hamster. He's working right now.
He's working.
Yeah, it's the best time. You gotta leave him alone.
Service hamster. Service hamster sounds bad.
Service hamster.
It sounds like a nickname for a prostitute. I mean, no service hamster.
All right, I was going to say, what happened to Thrill? I don't know. I left him at the party. It was just him and the service hamster.
And see, again, your spirit animal. What if you find out your spirit animal is a hamster?
For a lot of girls, it is.
I also picture that the hamster wouldn't need the vest that actually Velcros. He would just wear it like a cut. Oh man. No, this is my guy.
I got your back, homie.
I got him, man.
He gets a deep ass voice.
Hang on.
Yeah, he can talk.
He's having a panic attack. Give him a second. Hang on.
Yeah.
He'll be all right, man. He'll be all right.
He'll be all right.
He's running in the wheel, and he's like, oh, uh-oh.
Whoa. Somebody get this man a shot. Hang on. Come on. Just get the little water tube there.
And he just sucks on the tip of your finger.
I got you, man.
Does that make you feel better? All right, calm down. That's right.
All right, there you
That's
go.
right. Your pinky's in my mouth.
got this.
Real good. I'm your service hamster.
Put it all the way in the cheek now.
That would like I would. In the cheeks.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. You got it.
You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Keep sucking on my pinky. I'm here for you, bro.
Oh, no. Please don't touch him. He's working. Leave him alone. The average person spends 48 minutes planning the next day.
48?
Really?
48 minutes.
All right,
Just
that makes
under an
sense.
Okay. I mean, probably not all at once.
the day before.
So you would spend 48 hours today planning for tomorrow.
48 minutes.
Minutes, thank you. 48 minutes today planning for tomorrow.
Well, that's probably about right. It's just not 48 minutes from
You
1
know,
to 40.
on a work standpoint,
5 minutes here.
standpoint, yes.
Right. Another 10 minutes here.
You probably got to think about what you're going to wear, what route you're going to take to where you're going.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you going to stop and have lunch?
If you've got more that you're adding to it, how is it going to construct into your day? Are you going to hit it before you go to work? You're going to get it after you go to work? Are you going to have to leave early?
I feel like weekdays are simple because of work.
Sure.
Right. The weekends are where I got to really plan stuff out. Like, all right, if we want to do this, then we've got to be to, I don't know, Target by 10.
Right.
See, I don't need to do that. My wife will tell me.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. I saw it was a T-shirt today. It's like, I don't need Google. My wife knows everything.
Google's not even real, dude.
It's like birds.
It's like birds. There's no Google.
Somebody here says if I had a service hamster, it would definitely sound like Thrill. Why is that?
That was pretty good. I like the idea when you're like, okay, you all right now?
You all right, man?
Can you imagine having a hamster and it can talk and it sounds like me? Hey, man, can you dig through the cedar chips? I pooped in there somewhere. I can't find it.
It stinks, man. I really need to.
Well, the voice earlier was better. It was more of
I'll be honest with you, homie. I don't like going to the gym, get the wheel out the cage.
Right. Dude, I took a fat dump. Can you give me something better than the pellets? I'm tired of the pellets. Could I chicken cutlet something?
I confused the pellets with my poop. They look the same. You know how many times I've had that in my mouth, man? It ain't funny anymore. I ain't going to tell you again. You want me to suck on that pinky? You need to give me something better than pellets.
What's a guy got to do to get some tubes around here?
Come on, man.
Damn. need a little place to jungle gym around here.
You can put a little Gatorade in that water bottle. Some G2, brother.
Get that Mio stuff. Man, I hate
want some cherry flavor, bro.
Damn.
Actually, I had to ask for a shot. Put the Jack Daniels in the tube.
Thursday's tequila. Two U.S. cities were ranked higher than New York City as places to be on New Year's Eve.
And I guess Vegas?
No.
Miami.
Orlando?
Miami.
Orlando is number one.
Right.
Is the other one in Florida, too?
Nope, the other one's on this coast.
San Diego.
San Diego, number two.
Why Orlando? Just because of Disney World?
I've done both. Well, I've done Las Vegas and San Diego.
I'm not positive, Ted.
So you've done one.
Yeah,
Good
exactly.
job.
Yeah.
I did both of those except the one.
Right.
Do you need a service hamster?
Come on, dog. I told you not to participate when you say the dumb stuff.
Miles just needs the hamster to correct him. No, man, he's actually only done one.
You've only done one.
Don't listen to him.
My bad.
Man, give me the
I
picture.
told you I wasn't good about it.
I'm sorry, baby. He actually did like 7 shots. Like he's lying out of his ass.
Oh, imagine if the service hamster dimed you out.
That ain't true. That ain't true.
No. The receipt's in the garbage can.
For some reason, he tells dad jokes.
He's lying like a rug.
Like, God damn it, hamster.
Come on, hamster. I'm trying to help you to help yourself, man.
Better get this boy some water. His pants are on fire.
Let's just say during his time, everything was a cash transaction. The places he went for business don't exactly accept credit cards, if you know, except to chop things up.
Yeah, he did only have 2 drinks at that bar.
I've heard Times Square is kind of a pain in the butt.
That's what I heard. It's just too many people, right?
There's a lot of TikTokers out there right now, and it's actually getting a lot of people all frustrated because, you know, every TikToker's got to be at Times Square right now.
Of course.
Because it's Christmas time, it's beautiful out there, and it's so stuffed there. They're like, guys, you're ruining the entire reason to be here. Because you all just have to show how great it is to be here. Knock it off.
And we've heard. We know. It's kind of a thing. You don't need to reinforce something that we already know.
And I just don't care about New Year's Eve that much.
Yeah.
Every other drinking holiday I'm in. St. Pat's, Cinco de Mayo, even the fake ones. Not New Year's. I'm like, I don't know, man.
I would love to see one of those places once. You know, we were very, very fortunate in the last building that we had, at least back then, that we had a big old patio out back that we could actually have a great view of the Space Needle. We were out there for New Year's Eve a handful of times, and it was beautiful out there.
Yeah.
I'd love to see New York City just because of how big that display is, but at the same time, like, I can go out back and just see a handful of fireworks. I'd rather pop some champagne.
But I'd
with some
rather do
friends.
it indoors. Like,
Yeah.
I'd like to have, like, some nice-ass hotel room in New York City or be on a balcony, but I don't want to be in that many people, man.
Right. Let's see. Because it's stressful, right? It's a stressful time, and we all have our different ways that we handle our own specific stresses. In fact, we got an entire list.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
The top 10 secret ingredients to living stress-free.
Oh, damn it.
The
Sorry.
top
10 secret ingredients to living stress-free. How about being single or having 92 bottles of whiskey on hand? It was 93 until yesterday. Did I mention sex? It's kind of fun. Peanut butter-filled pretzels help too. And silk boxer briefs. Snug. Sexy. Yeah.
All right. So these are more household tasks that people do to relieve some stress. 18% of people said weeding.
I don't do it to relieve stress. I do it because the goddamn weeds drive me crazy.
Sure.
But as I'm doing it, I do realize I'm also relieving
It's a
stress.
monotonous thing.
I'm old enough for knee pads at this point. I bend over and my legs hurt and my back hurts for a day, 2 days.
I do every summer. Every summer I go through it. I know I'm going to
sit on a cardboard box. I need to do something different.
Everybody's favorite from the Big Dummy poll, 19% of people said sweeping, vacuuming, mopping, doing the floors.
All right.
To relax?
Yeah, to relieve stress.
Vacuuming,
to relieve stress.
for sure.
Right. And again, you got to make the triangles. If you make the triangles, that's how you relieve the stress. Miles, have you done it yet?
No.
Damn it. Got to get on that, dude. 20% of people.
Surprises me. You seem like a...
But he has hardwood floors.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you not
no
have
carpet at
carpet
all?
in your bedroom?
No.
Oh. Well, then that's why you haven't done it. That's all right.
Yeah.
No.
20% of people, it's actually a two-way tie, organizing or doing the dishes.
I keep myself organized enough to the point where I don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah, and I am
Once
a
you get it
disorganized
done,
person.
you got it.
And I will say, I don't like to do the dishes normally. However, on a big holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, if there's a big dinner, I like being the one at the sink doing the dishes.
Because I get away from everyone else.
I do my dishes and put them away before I go sit down on the couch to watch television. So
That's
when I
good
wake
call.
up in the morning,
I'll at least do the
my
dishes.
kitchen is
Not
completely
necessarily-
clean.
I hate waking up to a messy kitchen. So I will at least wash the dishes, but I'm not necessarily going to put them. Because I don't like drying. It's kind of like the laundry thing. Nobody feels like folding. To me, the drying of the dishes is like the folding of laundry. I have cleaned them, let them air dry, I am done.
I'm with you
I
there.
can go either way.
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes, like the pan, I got one of those Gotham Steel
Steel
pans, and they're very like, I love that pan. But it's so easy to wash. Sometimes, like, if I just like cook something in it real quick, I'll just wait till the next day and then be like, all right, it's
Good enough.
But you're right, though. If there's a lot of dishes or I've made like a meal, it does suck waking up to a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
22% of people said mowing the lawn, which the older I get, yes.
If you have a lawn.
If you have a lawn,
And
yes.
I've got a lawn that I have to mow now, so I'm
Is that
going to
right?
get back into that world.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I do.
You
Luckily,
do. That's a good size backyard.
that is, and they do have a lawnmower for me in the shed. So I'm excited to do it the one time, and then I'm going to hate doing it the rest of the time.
Hopefully that
You got
lawnmower starts up okay.
No
Yeah,
kidding.
stop bragging about the carpet. Let's see some lines out there in the lawn.
Yeah.
Oh, don't challenge me on the lines out in the lawn, Ted Smith.
Now that I like
I still got that muscle memory, man.
All right.
Yeah.
You go diagonal?
You know what?
Corner to corner?
I got to give this place a good trial run before I actually go through with it. I got to do a little bit of research to maybe change up my methods, but I'm going to go do the old way that I'm used to. You either go north, south, or east, west.
Yep.
And you do change it up every other time.
Okay.
Well, you just have to do both. That's how you make the triangles. Or the diamond.
Diamonds. Yeah. That's a lot of work, Ted.
I was a professional.
Seriously. Yes, you were. 23% of people said folding laundry, and 25% of people said doing laundry. So,
Yeah, now.
there is something nice about having a basket full of laundry that you need to fold and having a game on, having a TV show on.
Right, if there's something to distract.
okay,
But that's the problem, right? Everything else that you're saying on this list, you do, and you're not doing anything else.
Yeah.
Right, if you're vacuuming, washing dishes. But like with folding laundry, it needs a distract. You know what it is? To me, folding laundry is like asparagus. Like, it can be fine on its own. I don't like it. But when you wrap it in prosciutto, now, so folding laundry, it's just asparagus. And then the prosciutto wrapping on it is watching something to take your mind off the fact that you hate folding
But
laundry.
in the world we live in, I've got 9 million T-shirts. I don't wash my pants every single time that I wear them. Whether it's jeans or shorts, I'll wear them a couple times. So for me, it's just a matter of, have I run out of underwear? Then I need to put a load into the washing machine. I can live until the underwear runs out.
31%.
Most of the laundry I do is socks, underwear.
I cannot believe how much underwear I have. I had said to my wife about a year ago, like, man, I just need to get more underwear, right? That was just kind of a throwaway statement. Sure. She either went to like Target or wherever, man. But I came home. Seriously, if you open my underwear drawer, it is full. I'm like, I could literally wear a new pair of underwear for about 2 months.
Damn.
I mean, I was just like,
right.
oh my God. I was like, I just met a few pairs. She's like, nah, I'm taking care of this.
All right.
Damn. All right.
30% of people said gardening, 31% of people said cleaning, and then the number one task that relieves stress, 65% of people, which is weird because it can be stressful.
I was getting that.
Cooking.
Really?
Oh, I'm down with that one.
I'm hungry.
I enjoy cooking, but it's a different kind of stress, and I think that's part of it.
I think it depends. Like, we were talking about making soups earlier. I said, if I decide to make a soup, this is not a request from anyone, I find that relaxing because I'm not on the clock and no one asked for it. Everyone will enjoy it later, but because I go down and chop my vegetables.
There you go.
I
like
sweat
chopping.
my onions down. Like, that's cool. But when you say, hey, man, let's make dinner, I don't find that as enjoyable.
If you came to my house and I'm cooking a pound of bacon at like 7 p.m., I am stressed. Something has gone bad.
Something's gone down. A truck driver on a highway near Issaquah decided to get breakfast cooking early, Miles.
What kind of breakfast was he making?
Give me all the details at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. On We Can Do Hard Things, my wife Abby, my sister Amanda, and I talk honestly about the hard parts of life. Join us and guests like Michelle Obama, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Brene Brown as we have refreshingly honest conversations. New episodes are out every Tuesday and Thursday, so listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things, an Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Did you know that most people wait 26 days to see an OBGYN? If you're dealing with a vaginal infection, herpes outbreak, or STI symptoms, you already know that's too long to wait. At HelloWisp.com, you can get a prescription in as little as 3 hours. Contact a doctor online and have the care you need delivered discreetly to your home for free in all 50 states, or sent to your local pharmacy for pickup same day. Use code HEART, HEART, on your order for 15% off, only at HelloWisp.com. That's HelloWisp.com.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today, well, frankly, I'm not going to lie to you. It's a little bit sad. Today, we toast one of my personal favorite actors. That would be Andre Braugher. Now, unfortunately, he died yesterday at the age of 61. And honest to God, Ted and I both saw the story probably 5 seconds after you finished TV Time with Ted. Right, like we finished TV Time, and the first thing that pops up, Andre Braugher. He died at the age of 61. I have not heard any reason for the cause of death yet.
I said a lengthy illness.
A lengthy illness. Okay, so they're keeping that a little private for the family, I guess. But most recently, he starred alongside Andy Samberg on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But he'd been a mainstay on network TV since the early 90s, back when he starred on the show Homicide: Life on the Street, which happened to be filmed in Baltimore. And that is where I actually had the opportunity to meet this guy. And he was generally a classy guy. He really, really was. But he's also the man that introduced me to the culinary joy that is smoked salmon and cream cheese on an everything bagel.
Oh, really?
I swear to God. So a buddy of mine worked across the street from where they did most of the filming of that show. And he was like, dude, he comes in every day without fail. And he gets the everything bagel, smoked salmon and cream cheese, which at the time, to me, sounded foul and disgusting. I was in there one time, and Andre Brower, sure enough, he came in, and he ordered exactly that. And I made mention to him. I said, my buddy said you come in and you get this every day. He's like, I do. It's fantastic. I'm like, I don't know. He said, do yourself a favor. Try it. You can thank me later. That was our entire interaction, right? So I'm like, what the hell? I ordered it. I pretty much eat one of those at least one a week. Sometimes I'll eat it 4 days in a row, but that is a true story with this guy. But anyway, he was nominated for an Emmy 11 times. He won twice. He won the Critics' Choice Award several times. But yeah, he passed away yesterday. Did not see that one coming. Did not see that one coming.
No, and they said a brief illness, so I don't think anybody saw that one coming.
It just kind of hit and took him out.
Also, for the record, he is awesome in Glory.
Yeah, that was his first big movie role, was in Glory with Denzel.
God, I forgot.
Yeah,
he's Matthew Broderick's buddy, who Broderick is like, we can't be friends anymore.
Right.
It's and he's so good at it. Like, you feel his pain.
And the thing is, he is a remarkable dramatic actor, right? And he did a lot of, not necessarily Broadway, but a lot of live action kind of things. It's the thing he liked most, comedy.
Yeah,
like he was funny on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
He got to Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It was like, holy cow! Like I can't, because I
never saw him
knew
funny.
From Glory and Homicide,
right?
So seeing him on that, I was like, he's really good.
He's real good. But that was actually what he liked, was comedy. So go figure. Anyway, man, wish him well on the other side, man. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola bichona.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please, everyone, now Profile This is played.
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes, well, the story a story. Hello, Devin. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bitches!
Hola! All right, Devin, you understand how this here game is played?
I do.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one of three stories. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have interior decorating. And Animalize This.
Animalize this.
Jesus. Of course you picked Animalize This. That makes sense. All right, Devin. Here is your story. An on-camera discussion for an Australian podcast was interrupted when a creature emerged from the roof behind the participant's back. All right, so he is on screen. He's doing this interview for whatever podcast, and something emerges from the ceiling. Andrew Ward of the Regan Farmers Mutual, he was being interviewed by the host of Fresh Perspectives, a podcast produced by a consultant firm, when the animal emerged from the roof of the pavilion behind him. They even said, hey, man, there's a blank behind you. That's what the podcast host says, interrupting Ward as he was talking about the practice of greenwashing. Well, Ward paused, took a look at the animal, but because he's Australian, remained completely calm. Quote, it's only a blank, before continuing the interview. The question is, what was the animal that popped out of his ceiling as he's doing the interview? He looks at it, does not care. Was it a carpet python, a huntsman spider, a flying fox, as in a bat, or a frilled lizard? So carpet python, huntsman spider, flying fox, or frilled lizard. Which one climbed out of the ceiling as he's doing the interview?
What was the last one again? Sorry.
The frilled lizard.
So climbed out of his ceiling.
Yes, and as they say, emerged.
And it's in Australia.
It's in Australia. Because he turned around and looked. The host sees it happening. It's behind the interviewee's back. They say, hey, man, there's a so-and-so behind it. He turns around, looks at it, and he's like, yeah, all right, whatever. They just kept going. It's the Australian way, Ted.
I mean, I'm going to go with python just because it's Australia. I wanted it to be a flying fox, but I feel like a flying fox would have jumped on him.
Okay. Why would it jump on him?
Well, because they fly, dude.
It's a bat.
All right, Devin, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm not really thinking the bat because of the crawling thing. I'm
Lizard? I don't know. What do you think, Miles?
I'll go huntsman spider.
I'm going to go with lizard.
You know, they don't call them huntsmen in Australia.
A frilled lizard for Devin.
What was it?
Frilled.
They don't really call them huntsmen in Australia. Oh, they have a different name for
Yes, in Australia, I can guess what that would be. It rhymes.
Yeah.
Oh, no way. I think I did the math. All right, so what appeared behind this guy while he was doing the podcast? Was it a carpet python, a huntsman spider, a flying fox, or a frilled lizard? We'll find out next.
That was a tease. Did you know that most people wait 26 days to see an OBGYN? If you're dealing with a vaginal infection, herpes outbreak, or STI symptoms, you already know that's too long to wait. At HelloWisp.com, you can get a prescription in as little as 3 hours. Contact a doctor online and have the care you need delivered discreetly to your home for free in all 50 states. Or sent to your local pharmacy for pickup same day. Use code HEART, HEART, on your order for 15% off, only at HelloWisp.com. That's HelloWisp.com.
Maximize the compensation for your injury claim with Phillips Law Firm. With over 80 years of combined legal experience, they won't allow the insurance companies to dictate what's good enough for you. Whether it's an auto accident or workplace injury, contact Phillips Law Firm today. If they don't win, you don't pay.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories analyzed. It's our profile. This we got a guy on an Australian podcast. It's kind of on Zoom, so he's being filmed, and the guests, they see an animal emerge behind the guest from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay. The guy turned around and just went, "Yeah, that's what that is." And
hey, cranky.
Turned back around and didn't care. Question is, what was the animal? Was it a carpet python, a huntsman spider, a flying fox, or a frilled lizard?
And Devin, that is the very question that we posed to you. Let us start with Miles Montgomery. You went with the huntsman
spider, because I feel like people in Australia just don't care. They see them in their home all the time. And
Nope. Yeah, I would not be okay with that. Let's see. Devin, you went with the frilled lizard. Also, a no-go. And Ted, you went with the python, specifically the carpet python.
Correct.
You're all correct, sir.
I would have freaked out or had a heart attack.
Yes. I watched the video, and I mean, it's like anything. It's probably 15 feet behind him. It comes out of the corner. He's like sitting in a pavilion. And this thing comes out of the corner of the pavilion. And like, as you would imagine, a snake. It's just kind of coming down. Looks at it. He's like, all right, Mike, it's just a snake. Meanwhile, the hosts are like, okay, then we will continue this. Yeah, it did not faze him.
Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
Yes, here it is.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
I know. I forgot my water bottle. It's for a guy that's been struggling all day with his voice. You'd think he'd have a sip of water. And I always have a sip of water before I start
sip of this Monster.
Did you not have a sip of water before this?
Ultra Sunrise?
You always do.
I know it. Even when I was home with COVID, I did it.
Almost 20 years of this. I have always watched you. As we're doing that, you take your sip of water. Well, now I feel off.
Well, you know what? It was time for a change.
Okay. Until tomorrow, I'm guessing.
Well, I'll be thirstier tomorrow. All right, Al Michaels. Everybody knows Al Michaels. Famous sports reporter, this and that.
Mildly grumpy all the time. One of the few honest broadcasters where, and I always appreciated this about him. If he was doing a game on the East Coast, a Monday night game or a Sunday night, and it went to overtime, he would start telling you what time it is there.
I agree, but over the years, he's gotten grumpier. And like, if you watch that Thursday night broadcast, he's not very happy with anything. No. Now, a lot of people are saying this is has to do with Taylor Swift stuff, but basically, he's been removed from the NFL playoff coverage on NBC. Now, the New York Post talked to him about it. He basically was kind of shocked. He was the voice of Sunday Night Football from 2006 to 2021 before leaving for Amazon Prime's Video. So a lot of people, the Post reports Michaels was caught off guard, but questioned by the newspaper reporter. So a lot of people were like, oh, it's because he was making fun of Taylor Swift and this and that. And it's not that. Like, honestly, he's just gotten old and grumpy.
Yeah.
So basically, the thing is, he retained an announcer Emirates role at NBC. He called an AFC wildcard game last year with Tony Dungy. When the Jacksonville Jaguars rallied back from a big 27-point deficit, they beat the Chargers and stuff. But basically, everybody that watched the game was like, they don't seem too fired up in that booth.
Well, Tony Dungy is not going to help you.
No. But you'll appreciate this. I think he is one of those guys like Skip Bayless.
Right.
So Skip Bayless eats the same dinner, I think, or lunch every day. It's like chicken, broccoli, and
I think
rice.
he eats the same stuff all the time.
Whatever. But Al Michaels has apparently never eaten a vegetable and just eats
I do remember him saying
steak
that.
and baked potatoes, or maybe he eats something
does
different.
eat it. Even like a week or two ago, the Amazon Prime game, somebody brought in something. I forget where they were, and he's like, that looks pretty good. He's like, or not looks good. Like, I don't know. There's veggies in there. It was like a sandwich. And then the chef actually brought out a T-bone and a potato. And he's like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's
so basically, yeah, they just were like, he doesn't seem like he really cares for it. There was a lot of criticism about it. So anyhow, so he's out.
Okay.
Right. And it's not like, he technically works for Amazon. I'll be honest with you. Look, I love Al Michaels. There's a lot of things about him that are really cool. I love that on the set of basketball,
right.
He found out how much
Costas was making
and was like, oh, I'll walk off the damn set. Like, you're not going to pay. I'm Al Michaels. So I love Al Michaels. For me, he was also the voice of Monday Night Football forever, why he switched over to Sunday Night Football, which is the national game now. But yeah, like, I don't know why he's still working. He doesn't sound like he cares. Herbie kind of limps. Like, Herb Street does a great job with him.
I agree.
But I get why they took him off that coverage. And maybe next year, like, I don't know, let somebody younger in. And also, like, let somebody younger do it.
It's okay to let someone younger do it. And also, like I said, if you don't pair anyone with Tony Dungy if you're looking for energy. Tony, he just does not have that.
Right, and NBC is crazy already, man. Like, and I do think Sunday Night Football is the game of the week now, but there's like 8 guys on that thing. Or 8 people.
Right.
One of them's a lady. Anyhow. So, yeah, see, he's not going to be calling a playoff game this year. Miles, we're going to talk to Joe Gatto.
Yeah, we got a chance to talk to Joe Gatto. I believe
he's playing tomorrow night.
Yeah, he is at the Moore Theater tomorrow night. You know him from Impractical Jokers and everything else. He's
that's where you know him from. Does anyone else? Am I the only person who feels that his name, if you say it the right way, sounds like a martial art? Right? If I say, dude, don't mess with me. I know Joe Gatto.
Joe Gatto. So we got a chance to talk with Joe. So
you're not buying that.
Here's that. Hello.
Hi, it's Joe Gatto.
Joe Gatto, how are you?
I'm so sorry I'm late. I'm in Kansas City, and cell phone restriction is an abomination out here.
That happens, man.
I thought people were probably...
I'm literally on the streets where the only place that had cell phone reception, so I apologize. I'm like on the streets in Kansas City.
Are people mobbing you, recognizing you from the 1981 cinematic masterpiece, Going Ape?
They are, actually. That's what I look like.
Yeah, sure. Is it human torture to be a vegetarian in Kansas City with all the barbecue?
Oh, man. Yeah, I had a piece of lettuce I found on the floor. That was my lunch today.
I was going to say, man.
Would you just order, just give me the toppings you put on a sandwich?
Yeah, I walked in. I was like, just give me a piece of bread and I'll be okay.
You're going to love Seattle. There's vegetarian restaurants everywhere, man. Seriously.
That'll be easy.
Yeah. Are you kicking off your stand-up here?
Yeah, I'm doing. I've been doing stand-up for about a year and a half now, and it's been great. Joe Gatto's Night of Comedy, my version of stand-up comedy that I've been doing. Telling stories about my life, being on the road. Stories about my kids, being friends with those idiots for a while. It's been a really good time to come out and laugh with everybody.
Well, now your kids are young enough where they probably don't hear your jokes. Do you think it'd be one of those things when they get older and they watch some of these stand-up videos, they're like, Dad, that was not funny. That hurt my feelings, man. What the hell?
No, I don't really put them through the ringer too bad. I really talk about how I'm not that good at parenting, and I'm kind of making it up as I go along.
That's what we all do, man. I don't care who the parent is, right? I did not know this until I had kids, but you're 100% correct, which is you are literally making everything up on the fly. The answer to every question, how to make their food. It's amazing.
Does Dad know what they want from Santa Claus?
Yes, I do. We've done some deep dives. My son is a little math nerd, like his dad, a math leap in high school I was. That's right. And
quit bragging.
He wants to call this game called Math Dice, which I also love to gamble and play crap. So I think he's the perfect mix of me.
The perfect mix of me, yeah.
Wow, an educational toy. That's something that's something to be proud of.
That's for sure. Yeah, and my daughter is just crazy adventurous, so she wants this like crazy pogo stick thing, and she wants to try rollerblades now. She's 8, so it's fun to see the differences between them. You know.
Do you have insurance? That's always the first thing I think when they want stuff like that. Like, let's update the insurance because inevitably this is going to go bad.
We always do this thing. Like my wife and I, we always talk about the difference. I grew up, Staten Island, riding my bike, jumping off a hill, and like grabbing a rope that was hanging. Like that was the way I grew up. And she had like knee pads on, elbow pads, helmet. So we always have a little bit of a talk back and forth about the safety precautions at the Gatto house.
Well, it's kind of tough, because my wife and I kind of go through the same thing. One very much, and I learned this from my father, and he's not wrong. He said, "Look, man, when you guys were growing up, I would let you crash your bike, do whatever," because he said pain is the quickest and most efficient teacher I have ever seen in my life.
I'm going to use that. Thank you.
You're also going to sleep on the sofa. Trust me. It does not work with my wife, but I make the quote all the time.
Well, things have changed so much. Like, we used to make fun of the one kid that wore a helmet.
Yeah. Now, you get in trouble if they don't.
Joe, I got to ask. You said you said the cell phone coverage is a little bit crazy in Kansas City, but on the flip side, I don't care where I travel, where I go, how crappy the cable service is wherever I am, if they're on antenna, there is no way in hell that there's not going to be one channel that's showing nonstop repeats of Impractical Jokers.
That is true.
It is on non-stop, and I love it. It's one of my guaranteed. If it's on, which it always is, that's when I stop and watch, man. And it's always.
Well, you can't escape me. You can't get away from me.
No, I know it's crazy.
You really can't.
Is that right? And I follow Steve Bryan, so I can never get away from you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
What is it weird to know just how many different countries and just Impractical Jokers obviously huge in the United States, but it's got an incredible global following as well.
Oh, yes, for sure. It's been unbelievable. I mean, I've been toured over to the UK. I'm actually in February going to Australia. So it's been amazing to see the impact that a show about just being friends with your friends does for people. Just make them laugh during the times that are tough. But that's one of my favorite things about it,
Have you found, though, just because a lot of times people kind of want to join you in the spirit of what you want to do, right? So if you're a singer, people, hey, man, here's my new tape. Do you find that people try to prank you, like if you're at a restaurant or anything like that?
No, I think, people know I'm too good at it. I've been doing it for years. I see them coming a mile away. But the other thing is that people never trust me. So, I went to, a couple months back, I went to a Target, and I didn't know where the paper towels were. So I asked the woman working there, a little old lady, super sweet. I said, "Excuse me, where are the paper towels?" And she went, "Oh, no, Joe, you're not getting me." And she ran away.
Now, on the flip side, have you ever thought you were going to get punched in the face? Through all those years?
No, I mean, we try not to annoy people. It was always inward facing, It was more about we wanted people to think we were crazy more than anything else. And we were getting people mad. It really wasn't the show. That wasn't what we were after.
Sure, but when you were taking those baseballs from the kids.
That was the closest to death I've came.
So was it really that awkward? I mean,
dude, that lady lost her mind. It was insanity. And moments before, she handed me her 2-year-old child to use to get a baseball. And I'm like, how is this my fault?
Right.
You just handed a stranger your child for a baseball.
Wow. Okay, so it really was that uncomfortable.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
All right, Joe, I got to ask you one. How were you that miserable doing those traffic reports for Australia? Because you looked very annoyed.
Yeah, I mean, the hour, not enough sleep. What happened before that was the week before. I was like, all right, I'll try to catch up some sleep. My daughter had gotten sick, so I was up all night with her. The night before, I had to do the first night, and then I just never caught up. So it just was like a downward spiral for weeks. But yeah, it was good to know, I have my finger on the pulse for Australian traffic. That made a lot of sense.
Well, I got to tell you, as a fan, I got great pleasure in watching you having to eat those terrible microwave vegetarian meat pies.
I'm playing the didgeridoo, but I play the didgeridoo like a crazy guy right now, man. If you need you want to see me on tour, that's how I close my set.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe. Okay, so you never, no one's ever threatened you, but have you guys ever hurt yourselves?
Oh, yeah, I got hurt on the regular. Look at my body. It's not made for the stunts I tried to pull off.
Okay, all right. It looks like some of this stuff is a little crazy. And here's a weird one about Joe Gatto. You are a Kentucky colonel. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if you realize the list of names, Muhammad Ali, Mario Andretti, Fred Astaire, James Bean, Jim Beam, right? James Bean, Ned Beatty, the Pope. Oh my God, Lloyd Bridges, Bruce Campbell, George W. Bush,
That's
Jr.
right, all colonels. That's like me. I'm on the same level of all those names.
Jimmy Carter, Rosalind Carter, George Clooney, William J. Clinton, Ty Cobb, Joe Gatto, Norm Crosby.
Just rolls off the tongue. It's a similar company.
Johnny Depp.
Is
Walt
there like
Disney.
a special thing that you know other colonels? Do you guys have like a handshake or like a ring?
No, there is a code word to get out of a traffic ticket, though.
In Kentucky.
All right, because there's a famous butcher shop here in town, and the dude's a Kentucky colonel. So maybe if you saw him, you'd be able to say something to him.
George Harris.
Well, there's also a nod that you know, like it's a colonel's nod, we call it.
Is it only good in Kentucky? Because technically,
only Kentucky, that's only where it works.
Okay, because like you're a mister, you could be a doctor if you were a doctor, but you can be a colonel when you sign your name. Right. In Kentucky. And don't you, I mean, I know you don't drink, but don't you have some kind of, like, I don't know,
lifetime
bourbon thing, like where you have to protect the integrity of the bourbon in Kentucky? There's some tie with
Well, when we came back home from it, like we all got it, and Q had everybody refer to him as Colonel Quinn for a good 3 months.
What do you do to become a Kentucky colonel?
You stand there and they give you a plaque. It's like a key to the city thing. I wish it was more exorbitant. We didn't even know what was happening. We were performing in Kentucky, and the guy comes out and they're like, "Are you guys ready for the ceremony? The mayor's here." And we're like, "What?" And then we came out, and they gave us the thing. They told us we were colonels. You get this like badge thing. You sign like a log, like a ledger, and they're like, "Okay, you're colonels." We're like, "Thank you." And I had all the same questions you do.
Sure. I mean, did you have to look up like what the hell just happened? What am I now?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's unbelievable.
Joe playing the Moore Theater on Thursday, December 14th. I got to ask, you don't drink. You're a vegetarian. What made you cut out all the fun?
Why you sound so judgy? Because I probably have more fun than you.
I think that would be tough, man. To give up both of those things.
Do I look like a guy that doesn't have fun?
Yeah, that is a fact.
Hey, Joe, real quick, you're a touring comedian. It's like, who are your favorite comedians right now?
I mean, there's so much good comedy right now going around. You know, I just really enjoy it, and I get to see a lot of it. Social media does a good job spreading it around, but also being on podcasts and stuff. You know, I have to say Santino I love. I think he's great. Pete Holmes, awesome. Unbelievable. Shane Gillis, of course. Like, I think a lot of people have come up really doing some great things out there in stand up. And, but I grew up with the classics too. Like Tim Allen was the first stand-up show I ever watched with my father. We watched, his show Home Improvement together. And then the first stand-up special I ever saw with my dad was him. And I like to be that for families as well, because that seems to be a similar experience that's going on with me on the road. I'll have these kids coming out who've been watching me on television for a while, and I'm their first stand-up show, and they're with their family. That's a really cool experience to be that for people.
Ideally, what is something else you'd like to achieve, right? So, I mean, you've written a book. You currently have the Two Cool Moms podcast. You did Impractical Jokers. You've been part of an improvisational group. You're currently doing stand-up. These are all significant things. Is there anything else on the entertainment checklist, like I want to star in a movie or have my own sitcom?
No, direct and write a movie. That's my thing. I always wanted to be a director. That's why I started to get into this business, actually. And I had a little bit of a tangent with 10-year tangent with Jokers. But that's really why I entered entertainment. I always wanted to be, always wanted to do it. Always wanted to be a film director. So that's what I've been working on pretty actively this past year to hopefully get something going next year.
Oh, nice. Would you ever think, you would be touring the world and selling out places? I mean, that's got to be crazy.
It's unbelievable. I've been very fortunate for this life that I have. I worked hard and it paid off, but just to be there for people and be what they smile at when these times are crazy as they are, it really is not lost on me how much it means to people. So I'm very fortunate and very happy.
From Clerks 3, can you pick up the phone? Can you call Affleck? Hey, man, what are you doing?
It goes straight to voicemail. I don't know why. I think his phone's broken.
Sure. That's a bad phone, I think. Joe Gatto playing the Moore Theater on Thursday, December 14th. We really appreciate you having you on, man. It's very cool, man. Love the shows.
Yeah, big fan, Joe. It's great to talk to you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for having me.
Enjoy Kansas City, brother.
And best of luck, man.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. On We Can Do Hard Things, my wife Abby, my sister Amanda, and I talk honestly about the hard parts of life. Join us and guests like Michelle Obama, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Brene Brown as we have refreshingly honest conversations. New episodes are out every Tuesday and Thursday, so listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things, an Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app and everywhere you get your podcasts.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go to Issaquah, where a truck spills thousands of eggs all over the road. Meanwhile, in Florida, arrested woman sings gospel and then let the urine flow. Denver panty thief has neighbors on high alert. Two brothers crash motorcycles into each other, and yeah, both are hurt bad. And some ass in Michigan wins $2 million on a scratch-off, and yes, I'm jealous, and it's time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
All right, our top story. We stay right here local and head on over to Issaquah. Authorities responded to reports of an accident at nearly 4 in the morning and arrived to find a semi that had spilled some of its load all over the road. Crews worked for hours to clean up the mess in order to resume traffic along the highway, and nobody was injured in the incident, which involved 2 truck drivers. The load that spilled all over the roadway, boxes upon boxes of eggs, leaving a fairly nasty mess to clean up there.
That's got to suck to clean up.
You guys ever had to clean up eggs?
Yes.
That sucks.
Yes, it does.
Down in Florida, police.
Yeah, and they're so, like, you know when I crack eggs, I'm like, there's always a little drippage.
It's just gooey. Right.
You guys two-handers or one-hander?
I'm a one-hander.
One. I'm a one-hander, too. I'm always shocked when people can't do that.
I mean, I can.
Mike.
It's quicker and more efficient. If I
Not you, Mike. I have friends that, I'm just saying, one of my friends, that he cooks, you cook a lot now, but he cooks all the time.
And he can't do the one-hander?
Can't do it.
Damn.
And he's like, I don't know how you do it. I'm like, are you effing serious? It's not that hard.
I mean, I can do it. But
It's like chopsticks. Once you figure it out,
Sure.
you're good.
Down in Florida, police safely ended a rather dangerous chase. They started their pursuit of a driver after she was found to be speeding on the highway. And instead of yielding the officers, you guessed it, she decided to keep on barreling down the road at speeds between 90 and 120 miles an hour. As if the chase wasn't already dangerous enough, she made the decision to avoid drivers blocking her path by moving over into the oncoming traffic lanes and continuing her rampage there. Officers tried multiple times to deploy spike strips to bring her to a stop, managing to hit 3 of her tires, but she would not be deterred. No, she continued to drive along the wrong way down the road on 3 flat tires, eventually having to fly off of her car, and she, as she came to a stop at a nearby construction site. Officers attempted a field sobriety test, but the woman was completely unresponsive. She just stared out into space. She was alert, but she was just not saying nothing to anybody, causing them to bring her to the hospital for evaluation. There, she urinated on herself multiple times while singing gospels and passing out simultaneously. She's now facing several charges.
Why don't they put that on cop dramas? Right, here's the reality of what you deal with.
Men's Room Sports, a little bit of hockey on for you tonight over on TNT. The Buffalo Sabres are in Colorado taking on the Avalanche. NBA basketball is on the NBA Network. The Lakers are in San Antonio taking on the Spurs. And you got some college basketball over on ESPN+. And that is it for your headlines, ladies and gentlemen. With that, my hawk is out.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you next time for the return of Big Dummy. The head chef is back with Ted's Meat and Potatoes and the lovely Taryn Daly. She's up next.
Yes, indeed, it's all true, but in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch for 180 seconds or so. So until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
Imagine the relief of securing fair compensation for an accident you were in, where the insurance companies aren't dictating what's good enough and your injuries and suffering are truly acknowledged. Whether it's an auto accident, a workplace injury, or slip and fall, Phillips Law Firm has dedicated over 2 decades to ensuring their clients receive the rightful compensation and attention they deserve. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today or visit justiceforyou.com. They don't win, you don't pay. Phillips Law Firm, justice for you.
Want a little more pleasure in your life? Make 2024 your year to experience more pleasure than you thought possible. Lovers has the best adult toys, lingerie, and accessories to explore alone or together. Let our associates guide you on your pleasure journey and save 20% on your purchase with Lovers Afterglow rewards. Just mention Love 20 at one of our 18 Western Washington locations. Offer valid with free Lovers Afterglow rewards membership until January 31st. Some exclusions apply.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. On We Can Do Hard Things, my wife Abby, my sister Amanda, and I talk honestly about the hard parts of life. Join us and guests like Michelle Obama, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Brene Brown as we have refreshingly honest conversations. New episodes are out every Tuesday and Thursday, so listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things, an Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app and everywhere you get your podcasts.
New year, new you. Making some resolutions for the new year? Grocery Outlet has you covered. If it's eating healthier, check out our fresh produce, our fresh meat section, and our wonderful nosh section for amazing savings. Maybe your resolution is staying on a budget. Your neighborhood Grocery Outlet is the destination to save on food, everyday items, and to find many great deals on all kinds of products. Whether it's eating better or saving more, Grocery Outlet's got you covered in 2024.
Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.